Good evening and welcome to the Waterbowl final. Five. Our players set up and good to go. There's Paul Fogard and his Elvin Newton, David Rojo Garcia, El Paras, Old World Alliance. Covering the game this evening, we've got Alex Leipziger,
Philip Wanga, that name, Vagabond 1982. Okay.
Arnie the Lurker, 5-7. Guys have already done some rolling. Dave has plans for the game. Conditions are perfect for a lovely game of Blood Bowl. Dave won the kick and chosen to kick ball, and you can see already good to go.
We'll do a breakdown of the teams in a bit. They are itching to get started. Give them the signal and away we go. Right. Okay, off they go.
As for David, one and his see, but I think on paper, and we'll come to the teams in a second. David pulled up and nice count to the dodge.
Obviously, I'm biased here. Thought that took out of playoffs in last round. I have the player that I'm backing. See what happens. Expecting a good game.
Paul's been to 6 finals. Time up here at the Waterbowl. Lost a bet final to Blackburn. Lost the. That's a while ago now.
That was a while ago. Yes, I will never forget that 6+ pass.
We're the only person to.
Okay.
The others, I think, along with Steve. At 20. An Irish little background. That's Matt who's set all of this up for us.
Okay. Hopefully that'll be fine. I'm just going to check the audio and I'll
Thanks, Matt.
Okay.
And does lots of streaming on Geek and Pride. Geek Pride, sorry.
Some blocks have happened, and we're actually away now.
Yeah, so it's a standard 16 turns of Blood Bowl, and then time allowing, if required, we would go to 8 further turns of overtime if required. And then if scores were still level, we'd be into a dice off. But all being well, we'll get a result after an epic game, but within normal time. It would be the most satisfying outcome, I think.
Right. That's the.
No videos frozen. Yeah.
Just dealing with some slight technical issues, which explains why we couldn't see the action being updated.
There we go.
There we go.
Brilliant. Thanks, Matt.
We are back and we can see what's actually happening. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. So Dave, for the inducements, we'll go through the full team in a minute, but he's taken a wizard with Fireball, and he's also taken one of the Waterbowl mercenaries, Takedown Terry, who has got Wrestle and Tackle, which should be hopefully a useful combination
It
in this game.
should be a good skill against Core and all of the dodge that he has. Although in my game against him, his first block rolled a double skull, and he decided to take himself out of the match.
Core did all the takedown.
Takedown Terry did.
Dave's having to put his hand down and hold it for a second, keeps panicking me. I keep believing the camera's frozen, but no, he is just having a good old thing.
He's just taking his time.
With the mics being turned off, I think over the pitch, you'll be missing out on the joy of Dave's sound box. That he has if you're unfamiliar with Dave from tournaments, he has a little machine that he brings with him to make different noises at key points during the game.
Everyone who's been to any big tournament will have heard that sound box.
Yeah. So perhaps as we're in the early the early moves of the game, perhaps we can have a little talk through the teams.
Okay, we'll start with the elves. So,
That's the level.
okay, so as we can see, he's got 15 players on his team, which means he'll have a deep bench in case anyone gets taken out. We've got the 2 throwers, three catchers, and 2 blitzers, who by this stage are completely tooled up. And yeah, it's been a fairly good path to get to this stage of the tournament. Let's see if we can actually have a look at the skills. Here we go. Yes, so here you can see the team. You can see the vast amount of dodge that Core has taken on the elves. That means they'll be incredibly difficult to pin down. The blitzers have got well, they obviously block, sidestep, dodge. And one of them has got guard, which is quite an annoying skill for a blitzer to have, because if you fail to take him down, he'll just get deeper into the cage, and then that will allow all sorts of elven, I'm not going to swear on the stream, stuff to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just quite a few, looks like he's got quite a few random skills. I'm going to reckon a lot of that will be down to the fact that last game of the season, so anyone who's got enough skills in the pocket, I reckon he's just taking those just to take his chances.
Absolutely.
I think a late addition is Nerves of Steel on the thrower, which
is delicious, yeah.
Which could make a difference, yeah.
And the sure feet on the blitz is actually quite nice, because movement 7 is not huge, is it? Let's be honest, it's nice, but it's...
Yeah. So, shall we have a look at the other team?
Yeah. This is why we're loading that one up. Poor season spin. It's not been without glitches. I think early on he lost maybe two games, both a little bit surprising, but since then he motored into form. He didn't win his division, but he did qualify comfortably, and he's just eased his way nicely through the playoffs, having beaten 2 of the people on commentary this evening, in fact.
Yes, yeah. I'd like to say that our game wasn't that easy, but he did just walk over me.
Yeah, I think has he conceded a touchdown? He didn't concede to you or Barney, did he?
I want to say I scored, but I'm not confident of that.
No.
We will find out, because we can have a look at the last games.
Oh. Oh, that's the group games, isn't it?
Oh, that is the group games. Yeah, there we go. Oh, sorry. Well, we'll just have to. Oh,
this is Dave stuff.
Hang on, that explains that. Give me 1 second. There we go.
Elves.
We are back to the elves. Yeah, and
Is that first section? Oh no. Oh, there we go.
okay, here we go. Yes, no, I did not score against him at all,
No,
which is a shame for me. So we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about the Old World team.
No, let's go back and talk about the playoffs.
No. We are looking forward. That's the important thing. So let's see what we've got on this team.
So uniquely from this commentary team, I am undefeated against Core this season, but only because I didn't play him.
Okay, so we have 2 half-ton hopefuls, 4 human linemen, 2 dwarf blockers, an interesting choice to not take a human catcher at all.
No,
I think
it hasn't been one at all this season.
people have opinions about this,
Yeah.
and Dave's opinion is that they are not worth it on the team. Instead, we do have a dwarf blitzer, a human blitzer, a dwarf troll slayer, and he's gone for the tree man over the ogre. We'll see if we can get a breakdown of the skills, because that would be good.
I think he's definitely got a sneaky get halfling, I think he said.
So
Oh, yeah.
here we go.
Well, that tackle block dirty player, human lineman is looking particularly filthy. I think Dave said he's got, with his inducement, four tackle to face off against all this dodge, as well as a mighty blow. Well, mighty blow on the tree and mighty blow on a blitzer.
Okay. Well, it seems like things are heating up on the pitch, so we'll actually get back to the match now.
I think we have actually, if you look carefully, there is an elk catcher out, I think it is, so with dodge. And
Okay.
it looks like he's laying down in the dead bin, so he is dead.
Oh,
dead.
wow, okay. So first blood to the Old World Alliance. And not to, to be too reductive, but I just feel like the most surefire way, obviously, of defeating Core
Yeah.
is just to kick lumps out of his team.
If you can just kill all of the elves, then you can score.
Yeah, and just helps mitigate the potential shenanigans.
Because we're just looking at the team for quite a while there, Alex. Just confirm for everyone who's joined, who's receiving this half, do you know?
Yeah, Core's received, so he is the man holding the phone. And just Googling tactics against Old World Alliance.
Okay.
But Dave won the kick, and he chose to kick.
Oh, here we go. That is
Oh,
a KO.
yeah, okay.
Mighty blow was used on the armor there.
And that looks like it was a thrower, basically on the white skill base.
I thought for a second you were reading that from the look on Core's face. Wow, it's nuanced.
There is no look on course face, so everything seems to be going okay.
So given that Core is now English and is a former England captain, just, if Dave wins tonight, he'll become the first overseas winner of the Waterbowl title.
Yeah, and just to confirm to everyone who's not too sure, I know we appreciate it's not the clearest, but at the moment, so Corey is driving. He's on the right-hand side of the screen holding the phone, and the ball is on his left flank, so at the bottom of the screen as you're looking at it. There is a little flash of greens
Yes.
for
Yeah.
X's. That's the ball itself.
I think Dave, as well as the slightly paler of the two white men playing in this final.
He's actually the European, no, sorry, the Southern European, isn't
Yeah.
he? He's the Spaniard.
Yeah, Dave hails from Madrid. With many of our Spanish followers tuning in this evening to watch. And Core hails from Aarhus, the Madrid of Denmark.
It's lovely to see in our Manchester tournaments with the Spaniard rest of the day. We are equal opportunities here at the Waterbowl.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I had equal opportunities to get to a final. That would be quite nice.
Okay.
So in terms of just preparing for the game, Core went for his traditional Three Idiots burger, just to get himself in the zone. As Dave has an array of Spanish snacks and Italian beer, just to power him through the early turns.
The tree is throwing some blocks, or a block at least.
Okay.
It is. We've not taken roots.
That is unusual.
It
Oh,
has taken root. It has taken root.
Now that's as usual for
That will keep the tree in the centre of the pitch. And he's just pushed an elf away.
good work, tree.
Yeah, Old World Alliance, obviously an interesting team to play. I think of the three of us, only Barney's really got some experience with them.
Yeah, well, I was Old World Alliance in this league. I got into the first and second round of the playoffs and was knocked out by Core.
Okay.
So he knows how to defeat the Old World Alliance.
Are they a team that you think works at high TVs, or do they start to fall off quite quickly?
They can work. I think they actually do get a bit stronger because the more skills you have, the more. The Old World Alliance, unfortunately, they have to work together. But unfortunately, in that, they all hate each other. So turnover can be a problem. But as you get the more skills, as you get guard, as you get more block, so the roles become safer. But unfortunately, once things start to go wrong with them, it can be difficult pulling back in together.
Yeah. It looks like Core is attempting to bring the ball back into the centre of the pitch, and will then be switching sides, probably to get away from the tree.
Yeah, and again, whilst it's a good start for Dave taking two off the pitch. Agility teams, particularly elves, being down to 9 players is not really a major impediment to scoring.
Yeah, and Core does have a deep bench just to deal with this eventuality.
Yeah, and it might be that what it does do is means that Core will have to score a few turns earlier than he would like to.
However, it is worth noting as well that although he has got a deep bench, the issue with the Elven Union isn't losing players. You accept you lose players, it's which players you lose. So
Yeah,
as long as, unfortunately, he's lost a thrower and a catcher already, so that's going to be two huge losses. 'Cause
yeah.
they're just getting replaced by linemen, and ultimately they're just moving 6 armor 8 plus. though.
Is that I can't remember? Is it a leader thrower?
Does not look like a leader thrower. I don't think.
Okay. Well, that's handy. So I haven't played that much with Elven Union, but when I have, there's just been a constant procession of linemen to the dead or KO box. Oh, okay. So the catcher that went off was dead.
Yep. And the thrower is just a KO.
Yeah.
And the thrower had a lot in common with his captured brethren, as he's nerves of steel.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah.
Cole went for the theme of the team, and
Well, a different theme might be emerging in that they might just leave the pitch. OWA actually went well. A tournament I was at the weekend. Certainly, Jacob was on top table with them going in game 3. But that was a fairly filthy team, and it had Ivar as the star player, which brought block and guard and tackle to the party, which was, having played him, an absolute pain in my backside.
So we have switched over to Dave's turn, and the ball is not in a complete cage, but it is safely in the backfield behind a screen of elves.
And I guess without a catcher, I mean, Dave's got some movement 6 players and a bit of movement 7, but he's probably not going to go too gung-ho to try and get anything, particularly at this early stage as well.
And while the tree has taken root in the middle of the pitch, you can still use it as an anchor.
Yeah.
So if you can just reinforce the top of the screen, then Core will have to either break through the elves or go past the tree again.
yeah, I do quite like the tree on the OWA. As you say, the issue is when it's going to root, but I've heard enough now to accept it's going to root in the first 2 or 3
Yeah.
times. And especially on offense, you can still use it as a pivot throughout. Because nobody wants to go next to the tree, so it can be useful.
And perhaps, like, obviously the ogre gives you mobility, gives you a not unlikely chance of picking up, but equally there's a temptation perhaps to try and move the ogre more, and the more you try and activate to do things, the more chance you have of turning over.
If you're going to take the ogre, just play humans.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's as simple as that.
Yeah. Well, the tree is a fantastic roadblock, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's a little bit cheaper as well, so you know.
The blitz is on, but it was just pushes. But the player's been pushed into some more blocks.
Interesting to know as well, there's only 2 guards in the teams today, 1 each, so it's often when I play Old World Lines, I do like to try and get as much guards as I can. Obviously, it's a lot harder in the league with the blocker dwarves who you neither want to block with or carry the ball with. But,
Yeah.
but certainly with the blitzers and the Troll Slayer, you can get the blocks in to get the guard, but just 1 on each side today.
Yeah. No, I was surprised to see that with the OWA.
Here's our first 3-die block, and he needed the 3rd die to get the POW. But it is enough to take the elf down. Is it going to get through the armor?
Yeah, pleasing me for the camera. We have that little arc of skull, and then
Yeah.
a nice satisfying power just to round it off. And of course, the other thing to remember is that the core is caging up and doing nice defense and screening. Dave, as long as he
Here we
remembers.
go. That is not through the armor. That is.
No, that's very gentle for now.
Yeah.
But Dave, as long as he remembers, has got a wizard that he can use to deploy a fireball at a moment of his choosing.
Do you not have a frog, ribbit?
I think he said he chose fireball
Oh, okay.
at the beginning. I couldn't remember whether or not he had to choose.
I don't think I've used a wizard the entirety of 2020.
No, I haven't either. But
I don't like it all coming down to a 2+ to turn a player into a frog. I'd rather
I believe
take.
it's a 3+ as
Oh,
well.
then
It's over the strength characteristic.
Yeah,
Equal to our own
that's true,
strength.
yeah.
Then it is even worse. I'd rather take a fireball and try
Yeah.
and take the whole cage down.
yeah, because occasionally you do have the thing of going, I really need the fireball to take down the ball carrier. But often just that disruption to the cage is all that you need, isn't it?
And to be honest with you, depending on how things go, I think if the elves are surviving on the old Borderline Stride, it could be useful turn 7 or 8 just to blow a bit of a hole to try and get a hole in the line, to be honest with you as well.
And again, Core's not, I'm sure Core does forget some things, but it feels like he won't forget that. So, but that might hurry him into scoring a turn earlier than he'd like to. In case.
Just checking the chat, and yes, we are aware of the middle finger as well. Although I think it is frozen, so we'll just deal with that issue now.
Yeah. In real life, we can see his fingers move back to his chest. That's why we're sorting this out. Nothing major, I think, is happening right now. Just
It's tuned itself.
okay. Dave's just watching as Core move some elves forward. See something has been rolled.
It's a block, and
yeah?
it's just a push.
So if you're watching and you don't happen to, and you're a gamer and you don't happen to know about Element Games, that's where we're being hosted this evening. And if there's any background noise, that's because it's really bustling tonight. There's Games of Infinity, more Blood Bowl, I think probably some 40k, some Magic going on. And in a room adjoining this, there's our other final, the Chumps, where there are 4 teams facing off in the Dungeon Bowl finale to that. There's Vampires versus Norse versus Wood Elves versus something else. Okay, we're back. Thanks, Matt.
Okay, I think we have actually flipped sides.
Oh yeah, but that's okay. It's okay. So Core now, he was over towards the logo before, but now you can see his blue jumpered arm on the left hand side of the screen.
Okay, just a nice simple 2+ dodge away. It's the sort of thing that elves need to do all the time. Now, unfortunately, at some point you will roll 2 ones, and the question is always when in the drive and the game will that happen, but it is going to happen at some point.
And it's that thing as the opponent where you start to tell yourself that it has to happen, even though you know there are games where it doesn't really. And sometimes, particularly in a big game, that can start to eat away at you a little bit. You know, if you already have in your head that your opponent perhaps is like, in Core's case, a winning machine, then you're hoping that the dice will be in your favor, or there'll be a key mistake to help you out potentially.
But because this is a dice-based game, it does swing both ways. In my last match against Core, he rolled 5 double skulls against me and was still somehow able to beat me. So there's all a question about when they happen.
Yeah, well, that was it, wasn't it? In your game, you taken the same inducement as Dave with Takedown Terry, and then perhaps a point where you could have capitalized on Core's misfortune.
Rolled a double skull.
Yeah, and he had loner as well, didn't
Yes,
he? Yeah.
Okay, as we can see, the ball is quite safe in an elven cage.
Now that you've mentioned the middle finger, I can't stop seeing it.
He has always hated us.
Yes. But handy because the screen is unfrozen. It is at least in motion. And again, if you're near Stockport, I mean, this is the final of this season, but probably tomorrow or the day after, I'll start advertising sign-ups for the next season, which is going to start in May. So whoever wins this title won't have long to rest on their laurels before they have to get the defence in order.
Have you thought about what team you'll be playing in the next season?
I was wondering, I've got the first team I really played was the old school Necro, and I've still got that team, so I was wondering about maybe taking them and trying to get to grips with the current edition, because I've not really played with the Wraith. My suspicion is that with two fewer ball carriers than there were before, that I might hate that. But we will see. Because the Wolves are magical, aren't they?
In the Premier League, we do a full reset, so it'll be fresh teams for everyone who plays.
Yeah.
We do have a Vets League where you can take teams from the Prem and you play against other veteran teams.
Yeah. And that's an unscheduled league, so for people that haven't got the time or just don't want to sign up for it, like what was a bit of a grind sometimes of a Premier League season, so a match every 2 weeks. The Vets League allows you to play multiple teams, but also as and when you want to play.
Okay, I believe that was a block with a tackle mighty blow piece. Using tackle to take it down, and then that's
So mighty blow on
through the armor.
injury.
You've still got mighty blow.
Okay.
It is staying on the pitch. So that is a stun on an elf.
Yes.
So I've just had a look into the Dungeon Bowl. We're currently 1-0 to the Wood Elves.
So the Wood Elves, okay.
A Ward Answer who popped dodge on his first action, then rolled an increasing number of unlikely 5s and 6s to half dice, pop the ball loose.
Nice.
Then used a team reroll to not catch the ball.
Yeah.
So a catch could then pick it up and score.
That's how Rick is coaching the Wood Elves. That's how he won the Dungeon Bowl last season. I think it was an overtime. I think it was like a flesh column, catching the ball and then making a couple of dodges and then running it in for the winner. I can see someone's just asked, has Core won the Waterbowl before? Yeah, he's been to...
Is it 4 times?
He's won 4 titles, I think, including a Vets League title,
Okay.
3 Premier League, and he's lost two other finals. The only Premier League final he's lost was to Phil here a couple of seasons ago. So Core and Steve O'Boyle, who play in our league, are our two most successful coaches on 3 Premier Leagues each. So if Core wins tonight, he will go into the all-time lead. And similarly, for Dave, this is his first final. First time he's made it. Well, he's always been strong in the regular season and then almost always got knocked out for a variety of reasons in the first round of the playoffs. I think so one of the season ways won a game. So to get to the final, it's probably more reflective of what we'd expect of his skill level. But this is his first chance to take home the glittering prizes.
Now, what I'm finding quite interesting here is that Core has not pushed deep into into Dave's half, and this is a thing that I need to work on myself. I always get a bit too greedy, and I try to get too much forward your progress, and then I get squeezed up against the sideline and the ball taken off me. So the question that I've got is he going to push through the gap on the bottom of the screen, or is he going to switch sides again and risk going near that tree?
Or is he going to flip the table?
I mean, he could always just flip the table. That is always an option.
He's a strong boy, but he's also very mild-mannered, so it feels unlikely.
It's bad, but I've always wanted to see a proper table flip in the wild.
Yeah, it's just not quite satisfying on Tabletop Simulator.
No, it's not. No.
Yeah, so I do believe the player in the top right of the screen as we see it, I think that is an elf player. So,
Okay, so
there is a little elf there hanging out just in case it's needed.
It's really awkward, isn't it?
Okay, it is always the classic trap of having an elf in the backfield. You have to ask yourself, is it worth blitzing this elf? And then you waste the blitz. Well, you don't get to use the blitz elsewhere, and the rest of the team is able to push forwards. Or do you take that player down? Whichever choice you make, the elf player will always do the opposite of what you do. But this is a blitz, and it is a double skull. Obviously, a reroll into 2 pushes.
Imagine at a tournament, things going stressful. And 2 tables down on you.
I think the camera has frozen again. We'll just wait. Yep.
I think it's frozen again.
Yeah. Okay, the camera has just frozen again, so we are just taking care of that. We have a loose connection here.
Spilling beer everywhere.
Okay, the camera is back on, and we can see what has happened. So Core is pushing up the bottom of the pitch. There is still an elf scoring threat on the top right, who has now moved over, trying to cut the old world team off from the rest of the elves. Oh, that is a 1 on a dodge, which Core is just going to take, so that will go into an armor roll. Armbar has made it through the armor. I repeat, Armbar has made it through the armor. And that is a KO, I believe. Yes, that is another elf off the pitch.
So Dave was saying that might be the first time that armbar has come in handy the whole season. And that's another player off the pitch for the Elves.
And just an update for the core cam, his left eyebrow twitched 0.5 millimeter upwards. So if anybody who knows core knows He's feeling the pressure right now. So we're into Dave's turn.
Okay.
Dave's turn 5. So we're progressing at a reasonable lick. You know, sometimes in the final, you find things slow down a little bit. People get a bit anxious, or overthink even the simple moves.
But we have elves in scoring range.
Yeah. And on the one hand, Core might not want to score too early. He obviously doesn't want to give Dave a chance to fireball him, but also with a couple of players going off the pitch, you have to factor in as well, do I want to have perhaps 2 goes at getting back my KOs before the second half? Because if he loses another 1 or 2 scores and only has 1 shot at it.
He does have a deep enough bench that he will be able to be up to 11 players at the moment.
Yeah. Like Barney was saying before, there is the thing about you have the bench, but it's about which players aren't available to you for your drive. But then also with the best, you can have the best laid plans, and then you get sweltering heat, which throws things off anyway, doesn't it?
That ball is on the sidelines, which is tempting. If a fireball he goes off,
Oh gosh,
it could just bounce out, and then anything can happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that D6 to see which direction, so D3 is always a nerve-wracking one.
Well, at the moment, yes, so the ball's on the sideline, but there is the sidestep guard. He's just touching the ball as well, so it's not an easy one for Dave to get at the ball. And he's already done at least 1 block this turn, and so the fireball can't be used, so probably unlikely to be used at the end of the turn.
So the video is just frozen again. We shall just fix that.
Okay. It's Dave's magic finger.
Yeah.
That one there, and then boom, boom.
It's just so at the minute, Dave's just planning out moves with the aforementioned finger.
His finger of doom.
Yeah.
Knowing Alex, as I know Alex, if Dave were to go on to in this, whatever bit of merchandise we're next to for the Waterbowl,
Yeah.
David's finger may or may not be involved with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this season's 3B work for free because coaches that took part in this Premier League season
Oh, no,
all got poker coins, poker tokens, which said "Stop Spob." Spob is Stephen O'Boyle.
Which did seem to be quite effective because we did stop Spod.
Yeah, in the first round of the playoffs.
Okay, so the squeeze is happening against the
Oh,
elves.
speaking of Spob, he's actually there in chat. Is that right?
yes.
Hi, Steve.
Unless you're another dashing handsome Stephen O'Boyle.
Yeah,
Definitely
oh, yeah.
is. Oh.
Yeah, Barney's in quite a good position here because he can see the screen, but over to his right, he's got quite a good view of the pitch as well.
But more importantly, I've got quite a good view of Dave's finger. It's a beautiful thing to behold.
I've played Dave so many times, I've never noticed this before. I don't know if it's just for the final, but when we play in future, I feel I'll be unable to look at anything else. But I think potentially if Dave wins tonight, as a runners-up prize, I might send Core a massive foam finger. Which is just when Core won the title back during COVID, when we finished the season on Fumble, Chris Chili, who was the runner-up, I sent him.
We have another double skull.
Oh gosh. Yeah,
This is a
re-roll.
load. It's from the draw.
Okay.
So we've got a load of 3+ coming up. And that is not.
That's a 2, yeah.
I'm glad you could do that.
Down the player goes.
Okay. Pretty central.
No, so that's away from the ball. The way
Yeah.
so it may not be too bad.
Not too bad. But yeah, as a runner-up prize, I sent Chris a pillow with sequins on that when he brushed them back, there was a picture of Core that was revealed.
Just seeing if we can get a better look at where the players are.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ball is on the sidelines. I'd assume on the side step catcher.
Yeah, I think so.
So it is possible to surf that catcher, but you'll need to fill every available square, and Core is not going to let that happen.
Well, it's fair. I think if Dave did that with his OWA, Core might go home. What's the... Oh, the score, it's 0-0 at the moment. So Core received, it's still his drive. And he's got 3 players off the pitch. I think 1 dead, 2 in the KO box, and the dead one is a catcher. And Dave, I think, is yet to have a removal.
Okay, the speed of play has slowed down a lot
Yeah.
because they're actually having to think about it now
Yeah.
as we come into the end of this half. Well, the final few turns.
Yeah. You wouldn't have heard it on the mic there, but it did sound for a second that Dave was just going into chicken impression, so I can't tell if he's trying to throw Core off or if the pressure's just finally getting to him.
Yeah, so one of the big issues with the OWA, the dwarfs obviously having the load of 3+, so you've got to accept you can't re-roll it, but sometimes they have a punt on that load of 3+, and unfortunately didn't work out on this occasion.
Yeah, one thing that we didn't check at the beginning was what the initial kickoff was. I don't know if anybody got like a bonus re-roll or anything like that for the drive, or it doesn't look like any of the skills are for like a prayers to nuffle outcome or anything. It was 6. Or just remove, okay.
Yeah, I think this is to clear a path through towards the end zone.
Yeah.
So if this goes well, which
okay.
That was good enough to that.
Yeah.
it is a block player, so the opponent is going down.
Timely armor break, maybe? No.
And this is the ball moving now. So the dodge for the carrier.
It's one on the dodge. Here we go.
okay.
There's the tail going to get clipped.
Oh, from 1 to all of the dots.
Now we'll get the core finger. Not as good as.
No, not as impressive.
So the ball is in scoring range, but is unprotected at the moment. So a bunch of elves are about to dodge through to try and make a cage.
Yeah, if Core didn't
I think
respect
it's going to try that.
I would assume so. I don't think
I'm just checking.
be a mark of Core's probably disrespect for you, so I'm just going to leave this one player.
it is not potato time yet.
All for this evening, potatoes.
There are dodges involved, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like there's a gap at that bottom, which all the else will be running through, so I'm expecting many dodges.
I think.
Dodging
Yeah,
away
okay.
from tackle, but
It's the armbar you've got to worry about.
Well,
No, you worry about that tackle.
Yeah, we've obviously seen armbar come into play earlier.
So, the back of the cage completely protected, so
Nice.
unfortunately, it just happens to be a dwarf team at
Yeah.
the moment between the ball carrier, but
Yeah.
let's see.
Armbar obviously much more exciting if you're seeing it to the tune of gay bar.
And with that, the elves are through. It is
Yeah.
going to be quite hard for Dave to stop them. I'm guessing he'll just go full. He'll go full contact and try and take as many of them out as he possibly can.
It's not yet full. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay.
Another
Another
failed
one.
dodge.
That's team reroll this time. Is that?
That costs a team reroll.
Okay, so the back of that cage is now complete. I mean, barring stopping core scoring altogether, I think Dave would be happy to see him score in 6 or 7.
Now, if you were playing this game, would you use the wizard?
Now, I mean, he's got quite good coverage there with the other elves, but
Core doesn't have them quite spread out though, so it
Yeah.
looks like you can only get 3 unless I'm mistaken. Well, you can get 4, I think, if you send. The wizard has to be centered on the player, or you have to be centered on a spot on the pitch.
I would say you can just pick a square on the
yeah,
pitch.
we're going to find out now. We've got Barney's just going through the rule book as we speak. That's right, Charles.
So it's target anywhere on the pitch, so just a mild bit of panic as I realise I'm not entirely sure, Andy. I feel it could go either way.
If there's one thing we can be sure of is that Cole will know.
I would not put that past you to not know, because
Well, actually, I suppose he doesn't encounter a wizard very often. Cause,
well, I think you get 4 players, couldn't you? On
Yeah.
the,
but I guess the other thing is if whilst it might not take everyone out, it might again force the score.
I know, yes.
But it's also a useful thing just to have in your back pocket or, the second half.
I think Dave is working out where to blitz.
Yeah.
So again, if he's rolling dice, then the wizard is not being used. So
No. Well, unless he's rolling full wizard.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Delicious power action.
That is through the
Well,
armor.
yes, comprehensively.
Is this going to be another elf off the pitch? It's not.
No. Not unless there's some sleight of hand at play.
And of course, you can see on the right hand side there that Dave has, many selection of dice.
Yes.
We did try and mandate them to use our dice, but unfortunately they had a meeting, they overruled us, and they decided to use their own dice during the duration of this game.
Dave is certainly the biggest dice fiend in the league. He's a rampant collector.
Oh, a throw teammate is on the
Yeah,
card.
okay. Always fun to take a half into the head. The nice thing with the tree is, well, yeah,
Okay,
he's already
it is-
rooted. He's got strong arm, hasn't he? So,
So I think it's a 6, so I think it's a superb, I think you were saying.
oh, nice.
So we'll get +1 to lands.
but it will still scatter.
Oh, good point, Dad.
Oh,
Oh no. Is that another 6 to land it?
So landing on 4, I believe.
Yeah,
So
that'll
he's
do.
landed. So
landed
that's all
fine.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the superb throw there, 'cause it would have been a 4+ to land normally.
Yeah.
+1 for superb, -1 for tackle zone.
Nice.
So
You get completion as well for the superb throw.
yes, I believe you do. I'll
Yeah.
do in a second.
Yeah. So. So he's not, has he blitzed yet?
Thank you, Daniel. We've just had that conversation.
A completion.
Oh, that's terrible. So bad I didn't even register how bad it was.
Well, I've got a microphone now.
So a blitz is coming in on the front corner of the cage. I'm assuming they'll try to take that player down and then get a tackle zone on the ball at least.
Ball, ball, game over.
Yeah.
A power has come out.
Nice.
It looks like a side step. So,
Obviously, if Dave was a real hero, it would have been a 3 dice uphill halfling blitz.
Not through the armor.
This has got mighty.
And with the last movement will be tagging the ball, but there's no way that you can tag the ball and not be in somebody else's tackle zone.
No, he's also got a bit more movement to come from the top, it looks like, maybe?
yep, so the blitz has got a bit of movement. He chose not to follow up just so he could see what the result was before he committed.
Yeah. So again, just that trying to get core to go over the line before he really wants to.
Barney, how many turns can Old World Alliance comfortably score in?
9, I would say. is
Okay,
pretty-
okay.
You got your blitz, haven't you? Movement 7 blitzer.
Yeah, so
So
there's
it's
no
scoring 2.
capture, is there? So there is always the follow back of the one turn with the halfling.
Yeah, yeah.
However, there will be animosity and landing a halfling and his little legs on movement
Yeah,
5.
yeah.
Usually can be an issue. I would say 3 turns definitely. 2 turns just starting to look a bit iffy because it's just a human blitzer, movement 7, but nothing much else. So
Okay, well, each of the players have 2 turns left of this half.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Core is going to stall for another turn or if he's under too much pressure that he has to put it in.
Oh, stand firm.
that was a proudly exclaimed stand firm by David there.
It was.
Core is having to stand up and loom over the table,
Yeah.
as you can see by his head in
Oh,
front
yeah,
of the
that's
camera.
his head, yeah.
And you can see he was very nice. He actually had his hair cut last week, so
Yeah.
they're very all neatly trimmed at the moment.
And you might be able to tell just by looking at Core uses Alpacin that he likes the caffeine and the boost that it gives his hair. That's got an extra bounce.
Oh, the autofocus is
Yeah,
confused.
yeah. So.
We are currently running a bet for the next 5 minutes. So no betting is allowed, but you may declare if you think Corey's going to headbutt the camera or not.
I'm betting yes.
Yeah.
As Liam quite rightly asked the question, are there any minis among those Charlie Victor bands? There might be a tree, I think. So yeah, the tree has a Charlie Victor band, but he is a tree. Everything else is, we're just imagining what the player is with underneath all the Charlie Victor band.
Yeah, these are experienced players. It's very much theory ball final, isn't it? Yeah.
This is when you need other camera.
Ooh, he was close there. He came within 2 centimetres of hitting the camera, but he did definitely avoid it.
The elves are switching sides just
Yeah.
to get away from the slower Old World Alliance. So Core is stalling for another turn, so he's hoping to score on his 8, which will only give the Old World Alliance an opportunity
Oh,
to do a throw
there's a
teammate.
1. There's a 1.
Oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Wags, for Hairstream, you have to be
Team, your
the, next,
reroll is gone.
the next level up of Patreon membership.
It's a 2.
Oh.
It's enough.
Are we sure? Are we sure?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we're close. We're close to the hair.
And for a man in his 40s, coarse hair, soft but also thick and luscious, and
Very supple, isn't it?
yeah, it is, and it has been used in winter months just to home a lonely vole.
If this dodge works, I think the cage will be practically complete.
Oh!
It's a 1.
Oh,
I was going to say you had a good think about the last team reroll, so it
okay.
looks like it's probably keeping 1 in the bank just in case things go wrong this turn.
And that
But
Yeah.
Armbar!
Armbar
Armbar!
again. Twice in one half. These are heady days.
Here we go. Who go?
these are sights unseen in Blood Bowl before.
Oh, no KO conversion this time.
But with that turnover, is there a path to the ball?
Yeah, I was wondering that.
Or
Where-
is it safe behind a screen?
Well, there's certainly that finger can get there.
I think they're doing them.
Yeah.
It looks like they can be.
The finger is counting, so there might be a dodge involved, but there is a blitz available on the ball carrier.
Unless Dave's got a special play card that allows him to Sabutio a player up the other end of the pitch.
And for those of you who can keep an eye on the bottom left-hand corner, Corey's currently in his online banking. So if you're lucky, you may be able to capture the PIN number.
Yeah. If you can hear a little noise, the Element Games cat has popped in to say hello. I think Core's lured it over to try and distract the OWA players.
Double, triple our viewership over
Yeah, Liam, in Danish, Core Foged actually lends itself to many anagrams.
Yes, some more powers are coming out.
Yeah.
Seems that Dave is trying to do as much damage as he can before he goes for the blitz.
Yeah, oh, then we're
That
through.
is through the
Yeah,
armor.
nice blow.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm assuming that was a blitz who's been hit.
So with Mighty Blow, KO, is that? Oh no, just the stun, sorry. Yeah, you can't see on the screen here, but there's actually like smoke starting to rise from Dave's dice cup.
It's a rather beautiful dice cup, isn't it, as well? I don't think we mentioned
Oh,
it.
it's adorable,
I
yeah.
think it's a Hello Kitty cup that has been converted to the dice cup.
Yeah, it's quite solid. I mean, Dave does like a little bit of noise, so he's got a couple of dice cups there. There's one which is a wooden Blood Bowl ball, which again makes a rattle of it like a dice tower.
Core's legs are starting to be tapped now, so I think the pressure is starting to get to him. It's,
Yeah. To be fair, Phil's knelt down moving his legs, so just trying to throw him off his game.
Some stage the blitz is going to have to happen, and if that is a blodge catcher, you will need to get a power on it.
Yeah.
yes, Philip, that is how the blood
Yeah, no, but okay. If you did get either one die, would you use your reroll to try to get the power, or would you save it for the one turner?
Yeah, interesting question. I would foolishly throw with my ivory roll and neither roll the power nor get the one turn.
Yeah.
There is definitely an increasing tension on the board. We can sort of feel it from over here at the comms desk. Things are getting a little bit tighter.
Currently, Dave's trying to work out if he can get the tree onto the ball, which with the move tree at the root, I think it's unlikely, but he is. He's insisting on counting it out just to make sure.
So whilst Core has come dressed in this, I think very much maybe like his work gear, Dave has got some Blood Bowl attire on. I think maybe it's a Bill Bally, potentially, top. Or perhaps one of the teams he's represented, but I think it's a Spanish orc.
Yeah, no, I do believe that is the Bill Valley Orc.
Yeah, I thought so, yeah.
And also on his sleeve, you can see the Bill Valley.
Oh, yeah, that's true, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was Skadi, yeah.
Okay. Armor roll.
Okay. Yeah. And obviously, if Dave wins this final, all players will use the Spanish dialect of his choosing for the entirety of the next season.
That is through the armour.
Yes. A mighty 10. I could not see what the other dice was. Was that somebody off the pitch? Or was
No, that is
It was a 6 overall.
that is
Oh,
just
okay.
a stun.
Yeah.
So I feel like everything's happened except for the blitz on the ball.
Yeah. Obviously, a good night to be in Madrid tonight. To catch us on the live stream and all the bars.
No, I think we may have actually missed a blitz because if you look at the top of the corner, there's a player that is prone. So I think there must have been a blitz into the cage. So I think
yeah.
that's an elf on the floor and a marked ball carrier. So I think we're just trying to show. Dave's trying to show anything so the elves can't get anyone else to help in the
Well,
defense.
Right now,
Thank you, Charles. Yeah, that's what we're discussing now, I think. Yeah.
the elves are coming in for a foul action, I would assume. So the Oldwood Alliance are coming in for a foul action.
That is true.
It's definitely
Through
going
with the
through.
assists.
Can he avoid the referee's gaze here?
Well, I'm not looking. No,
Done.
no dead player. No, just a stun.
No.
That tree again. It's fast, but it's.
So yes, you'd imagine with the pressure that Paul would probably want to put it in next
Well,
turn.
he has to, 'cause
Oh,
it
yeah,
is-
so let's say, oh, this is 7 now.
yes. So
Oh, okay.
next turn is his 8. So
Yeah,
unless
40
he's-
proper disrespect.
yeah.
I'm not scoring on you.
I could score, but I'm
and
not going
Dave,
to.
just in case, very clever language. I was got
Yeah.
the getting a player into range just in case things go wrong.
Have you played anybody that's forgotten to score in their drive?
I haven't fumbled. I have ended turn and I quickly realised it was turn 8 and had a bit of a cry about it.
I have it. Monkey Bowl where we both had a big night out, but sadly for me it was on his turn 16 when he was 1-0 up. He forgot to score his second.
And here's the dodge.
Okay, so anything
Will
but a
we have a
one.
drama with a 1?
He's got a reroll in the back, hasn't he? He's got 2
Yeah.
reroll left.
Or it's not rolling.
I hate this as an elf player because you feel like it is in the bag, and then
It's not a very confident hand roll.
it's a 2+. That's it. And the elves have scored. It is 1-0 to Core.
So a couple of them, although he's got the bench, there's still a couple of big KO rolls to make. You know, the throwers on there. It'd be handy to have that back, particularly with the nerves of steel. Just gives you another option, doesn't it?
Yeah, there we can see the scores in with the catcher. No, not the throw, but the touchdown, I don't.
As the other thrower, yeah.
The big question is how many of the KOs are going to come back?
Yeah. I think that's it. Are they both back? It looks from here like they're both back, but I don't know whether
Yeah,
course.
so all the rolls have been done, looks like, and all the KOs are back. So the only permanent damage for the elves is the dead catcher.
Yeah. Which again, given how the half started, Cole will be delighted with that to go the 8.
This is basically exactly where he'd want to be at this stage.
Yeah.
And now all he has to do is work out what is the best way to stop the one-turner. Which, against a teammate, you only need to make the landing as hard as possible.
Yeah. And for Dave, if he doesn't get the one turner, if he can get a deletion or 2 now, which is very handy going into the next half. You can see from here, looks like Core's got a player with a couple of skills in the bench, just in case any shenanigans on turn 8.
Well, being a Fisher's ref, that's certainly what you want to avoid. Isn't
Oh
it?
god, yeah.
Of course, carefully counting out the squares to put tackle zones exactly in the optimal landing place.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of discussion about where exactly you place your line. Because obviously the throw teammate itself is 6 by 3 squares, isn't it? If you
Yeah.
want to be looking, put the player on the line of scrimmage, the halfling, the tree can try and get an extra square. So it can be quite difficult. You don't get too close and have them run over you, but also you don't want to be too far away and have the player land straight in front and run past you.
Which way is Core playing?
Core is on the left of the screen, so
Yeah, Core's big Danish arm has just been on screen, and Spanish Dave is at the logo end of the pitch.
And just to reassure our viewers, we don't normally name people by their nationality. However, the Waterbowl has an abundance of Daves. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, we do need different ways to differentiate
Yeah.
them all.
Yeah, yeah. If we get another Core, then one
As
of them
long
might
as
get the
it's
money.
not
Yeah, yeah.
There could be our house core and
Their house.
Copenhagen.
Yeah.
it's always the worst part about the one turn touchdown. Once you've set your team up, there is nothing else that you can do, and
Well,
you just need to see what dice your opponent is going to roll.
Yeah. There is the thing, isn't there? Sometimes you get the perfect defense, which can help. Well, sometimes helps you, sometimes causes you to accidentally help the one turner even more.
Yep, great shot. Charles, dice save would also be good. However,
It's quite established now, isn't it?
Yeah,
The brand is established.
if he wins today, he will be forever known as Waterbowl Day.
Waterbowl
Yeah.
Day.
So then the tree not a bad option if you're going to throw a player. The tree is a good
Slightly
option.
better
Yeah.
passer as well. So yeah, I think it's a 5. I think
Yeah.
you would say a superb.
Yeah,
throw.
yeah. So no hunger to factor in. He's not. He's going to get to attempt the throw if he can. As long as he doesn't have to move to get the player, he'll get to attempt the throw.
Yes, that's right. It's blah, 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 blah. I think the awkward thing with this is actually getting the ball to the halfling. because
Yeah.
You've either got to go from a human, which doesn't like the halfling, or you go for a dwarf, which has loner.
Yeah.
I played against Corn last round, and yes, he does have kick, which does make this a lot harder.
Oh, okay.
'cause if it is too deep of a kick, then there's not a lot that Dave can do.
Unless you had fumble Ruski.
Yeah. Oh, it's quick snap. Is that? Or is no? Oh no, it's 3 and 3. It's 3 and 6. Sorry, I read that as that being just a 9.
he's
It's
7 on the
direction,
other
isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that is a deep kick.
Nice. So as long as they avoid an extra turn.
Then yeah,
You've got to assume that that's unless it's a high kick, maybe could be.
Oh
an
yeah,
extra
that's true as well. Yeah,
or-
another nice option.
Would any of you shop like a drink?
okay, thank you.
A water, please, Matt. Thanks.
No, good.
Yeah, if anyone in the chat would also like a drink, just pop your order in. Element have a great range of drinks as well as some delicious crisps. The Dylan jalapeno being the peak.
Now, I don't want to make any aspersions on Dave's list, but if he did have a capture and a high kick, I think this could be doable,
Yes.
as it is unlikely.
Okay, so Core's
So it looks like
got
it's a,
perfect defense, is it? Oh, sorry.
solid defense.
That's it. Yeah.
Yep. Just moving everyone back so that they cannot be blitzed. Because if Dave can't do the one turner, he'll be going for as much damage as he possibly can.
There was the briefest nanosecond there where it looked like Core was about to leave a gap between those two players in the middle of the back, but almost as soon as I saw it, he remedied that. Well, Dan, it's become the motif of the team, hasn't it? That it'd be selling out now to go for a catcher, right? But you're right, it is absolutely madness not to. Oh, Oh no, I thought something appeared on top play, but it was just that completion for the tree man from earlier. Oh, thank you. Cheers. Okay.
If you can't score, can you at least kill some elves?
Yeah, and again he has.
More importantly, can you throw the half onto one of the two players that he wasn't able to
Oh
move
yes.
and,
Oh yeah.
maybe crock one of them? So Dave does have two halflings, so hopefully he doesn't care about them. I know. Those have to be heartless, but they are certainly a low priority
Yeah.
of my old other Lions team.
At this stage of the league, your players cease to be players and they're tools. You'll spend
no
the
how?
coin of their lives to get you the win.
And again, he's got the sneaky get fling in here, so if he wants to put the boots in, depending which if it's in range.
That is through the armor.
Okay, just a stun there.
They could really do with taking some more players off, seeing as all of the KOs have come back.
Yeah. And tricky when you're defending the ball to commit as many players to trying to wreak violence. And again, without the catcher, not to belabor that point, another power. Just that little bit harder to keep somebody back.
That's 3 blocks and 3 powers, but no one's taken off the pitch.
Somebody might be sharpening their spikes.
Foul is definitely happening with plus many.
Yeah.
Here comes the boots.
Definitely
It's
through.
through the armor.
Oh,
And that-
KO.
a KO, unless that was with dirty
Oh,
player.
that's true. See which
That's just a KO.
pass. Oh, pass action. Just for completion.
I think this is just because.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I know it's a strange concept for you two, but sometimes it can be fun just to play the game and not necessarily.
I'm all about fun. I enjoy the Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, so a fairly textbook half from Core,
Yeah.
scored on his 8, has not lost too many elves, and the one turner hasn't happened. Do you think Dave will try to score twice in one half, or will
No.
aim for the overtime?
I think he'll go for the 8-turn grind and just try and wear away as many elves as possible if he can. Because even with a deep bench,
You've got to think he's just playing core with elves,
yeah,
giving him 3 or more turns feels like madness, doesn't it?
yeah, and he knows, yeah, so he's good enough to score the 1-turner, isn't he? Giving him more turns than that.
And yes, the score is 1-0 to Core.
And Dave to receive second half. So yeah, the wizard is still available. Yeah, potentially, yeah. Either overtime or if things start going belly up, there might be a desperation play with the wizard.
It does mean you have to make it through 8 turns against Core, and Core will be trying to take that ball off Dave. Because if you can just score once, then this game is effectively
Yeah,
over.
yeah, no likelihood.
I'm expecting to see some sidestep blitzers tagging the corner of the cage.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the moment, Dave's quite pensive. He's trying to decide what his plan is, who's going to pick up the ball, who's going to carry, who's going to.
Or just go super bold, and if you can, just pick a spot pick the spot between the LOS and the line just behind.
So it seems
Yeah,
like
and Madness.
Core has left the flank on the top of the screen fairly exposed.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
assume this is to try to bait Dave into pushing down there so that he can force him to score in 4 or 5, and then Core can come back with his elves and score in 2. It's a classic trap, one that I would probably fall for because I'm greedy.
I guess obviously the other thing that might factor in, as well as Dave perhaps whittling away at Core's team, would be if Core is forced to burn all his rerolls quickly, then you might factor that in as well. But even then, you bank with the inbuilt skills he's got, you bank on him scoring quite quickly.
I know the answer is read the rules pack, but do rerolls come back for overtime?
No.
No. Okay, so if Dave can score and force Core to burn through his rerolls, then things will be quite different.
And again, overtime isn't sudden death. It's a change for this season. So the fact they played relatively quickly first half is handy because Element shuts at 11, and they normally want you after quarter 2. So, in terms of getting home to our beds, that'll be handy too.
Core will not let this last that long.
That's the core guarantee.
It seems like Dave is not taking the bait and
No.
going for the flank on the top of the screen. Now, has he remembered that Core has kick?
I was just about to say that. Yeah, if he ever commits to one side.
Yeah.
The Core many skills to his bow. Former American footballer as well. As part time, not professionally.
Dave?
No,
I think he was the linebacker.
and Core with 3-time Aarhus sheep wrestling champion in his teenage years.
No.
Something just popped up on screen called Predator Sense, and I thought it was something to do with Barney's work.
Zoom in a bit, yeah.
Right, okay. This may freeze the camera, so we'll warn the.
Okay, we're just going to attempt to see if we can zoom in a little bit further on the pitch, but there's a chance that might cause the screen to freeze. But we'll just sort of see, because if we can get in a little bit closer, you guys will be able to just get a slightly clearer look at the play. So the kick's going backwards. There's not many players over that side for Dave. Wonder if Core's going to go for the full. No, he's gone half. There you go. You can see we zoomed in a little bit there. See that?
Okay.
These are the controls you hear about online if you want to sort of. I hope it doesn't freeze.
No, was that 7, Dave? Oh, okay, phew. Okay. So weather. Just gonna go. Still nice weather. Yeah, so it's going 3 times.
That being open may make it freeze. But
Thanks, Matt.
Okay.
And then we just hit the floor. So we've had the scatter. Okay. So yeah, so Dave did leave himself a little bit open on that side. If he doesn't get good coverage on the ball.
you could drag that up there, and then you can use your.
Okay.
That way you can.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah.
Okay, we'll try to zoom in so that it's easier to watch the action.
So yeah, Dave just trying to assemble a little bit of protection for when he goes to pick up in a second.
Now this is where if you drop the ball, the elves will be all over it.
Seems quite bold not to have gone for a more balanced setup.
Well, if a blitz had happened there, then that entire flank
Yeah.
was open, and the elves could have just charged through.
Yeah, maybe again, Dave's feeling the pressure, but feels that he needs to get into a position early on. But there's not really a rush. Plenty of time to.
What of a goal
get
the
a bit.
Russians in it.
It is only turn one of what should be an 8-turn drive, so
Yeah.
you've got all the time in the world.
Yeah.
It's a very large should just dropped.
Yeah.
By Philip there.
So I would be too anxious here with that ball with just one person on the cage. I'd want more people before doing anything else.
It's fine. It's elves.
Yeah. Unless it's an elaborate trap.
I believe that is what my friend Adam Lackbar once said.
I'm assuming because of their lack of dodge, the Old World Alliance can't really switch sides that easily.
True. Also, their lack of movement. Also, quite a lot.
That's why it's so upsetting when it happens.
It's also sort of he doesn't have a catcher. Because
But if you can force them onto one sideline, they are going to stay there.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a tricky one with elves. When there's 11 elves, you've got to try and pile down the middle. Obviously, if you get into the middle, the elves have to cover the whole pitch. But yeah, if you're down one sideline, they only have to cover half the pitch because they know full well you just cannot cover it all.
The tree is moving.
Yeah. The other thing as well is that Core is not going to be a player that will be shy of. If you leave him aside,
This isn't the
yeah.
block, yep.
if you leave him a sideline serve, it's not going to be something that he's going to be shy of taking. And we're going to get a Dungeon Bowl update from our roving reporter and referee.
How is the Dungeon Bowl game going?
It's 1-1. Doug and Rick have both scored. So the winner
Okay.
have scored. We're about to come to the end of the first half. It's been an absolutely crazy game.
Amazing.
So the Norse had the ball, caged up, and the War Dancer did loads of crazy leaps and dodges to get in to uphill it. Pow, pow. Lucky bounce. Had to re-roll a successful catch so that his player who was poorly moved could get it. Ran away with it and scored. And then the vampire score was, as you can imagine, with vamps.
Yeah.
Hypno, dodge, crazy nonsense and score. So yeah, looking like it'll be 1-1, 0-0.
Nice. Oh, it sounds like it's always a cracking game, the Dungeon Bowl final.
It's been a really good Dungeon Bowl, actually. Yeah, it's been really good.
At this stage of play, who do you think is going to take it home?
It's got to be the Wood Elves. But I don't know, actually. It's going to be Wood Elves or Vamps. The Dwarves are really struggling. And Norse too.
Apologies, I did not mean to laugh when I mentioned the words dwarves and Dungeon Bowl.
Yeah, I know. We tried to explain to him because I think it's his first time playing.
It is.
You're at such a disadvantage. Because you basically just have to go into teleporters constantly. So yeah, I don't know.
I guess Rick is definitely the more chancy player. So
Yeah.
so would put himself more at risk compared to
Vamps
Doug.
are just so good in
That's
Dungeon
what I
Bowl.
mean. Yeah.
Usually only be one person blocking an entire corridor. And then if you just hypno them, suddenly there's no blocking
Yeah.
at all. So that's very, very hard to deal with. Yeah.
It's it is a very fun game to be part of, the four-way Dungeon Bowl final.
Lots of powers being called
Yeah.
against the elves.
Yeah,
Oh, this
Dave's
is
received
through the
the
armour.
card.
This could be an elf taken off the pitch.
Okay. Perhaps if we diverse him, Alex can just take up anything else gone.
It is an elf off the pitch.
Yeah. Was that mighty blow or was that
mighty
the
blow?
KO?
Alex.
It was with Mighty Blow because an injury is about to be rolled.
Twice. An armbar.
Yeah. Yeah. Once the KO.
I wouldn't even remember I had it.
So as you can hear there, we're just updating Alex on the fact that armbar came into play. So is that Core toying with was Apo that? No, he's taken it. So one off.
I'm guessing that wasn't with Mighty Blow, so it is just a KO. And Paul was thinking about the power Apo just to keep elves on the pitch.
So it looks like here. So this is big, isn't it? Because of we've got two dice. Is he?
It was, but it was a
Is he one of the players?
sure hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not my cup of tea.
I understand that it is there for speed, but I like the drama of
me too.
you failed the first one. Will
Yeah.
sure hands work?
Yeah. No,
Anyone in the chat have any opinion about rolling 2 dice for sure hands?
yeah. How much on a scale of 1 to 10? How much of a deviant are you if you roll 2 dice at once for your hands? Oh, okay.
Core is coming back and throwing some blocks.
So the ball's not super. It's not super secure yet, is it? Again, Core's unlikely to go all in to try and knock it loose at this point, because if he didn't get there, it would just open up that flank.
Core seems happy just to put a nice line of elves between the old world alliance and the half that they're trying to get into.
I think for Dave, the other thing for him to factor in, if he can get the pitches, if 3 or 4 go off the pitch, there's still the thing of going, unless they're injuries, you don't want to chance the fact they might all come back.
So yeah, I don't know if you've caught it, but we've got 2 KOs, so it's
Okay.
down to 9 elves.
Oh, down to 9
Okay.
now already. Okay, and we're only a turn
This
in. Okay. So yeah, we can see with the with Dave's magic finger, we're looking at possibly the swing back the other way.
a guest has just come into the booth.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Say hello.
Hello.
Okay.
I'm the bloke who's banned from tournaments for a year for cheating. How are you?
What's the score? The score is 1-0 to Core. It is Dave's drive now. He'll be trying to score in 8 and kill as many elves as he possibly can.
And
he has just taken out 2. So we will see what happens, because if he can score an 8, then we'll go to overtime.
yeah, the voice you heard there was Queeve, who at the weekend was on our team, and
We're not talking about the weekend. No.
he had a legal roster on top play. It just didn't put that roster onto the pitch.
Yeah. I mean, I put it in a month ago. A lot happened since then. You know, the world's almost at war. It's hard to keep in contact with everyone.
Yeah, of course, yeah. It's one of those where Queeve happened to talk to somebody who essentially got the mirror roster. And was like, oh,
It was Dave Defoe.
yeah, how did you get
Dave Defoe, the smug sod, came and said, "How'd you get all that?" I said, "What are these?" And then made me look like an idiot. I would have had a great time, except Dave Defoe had to point out I was a cheat.
What was worse is he didn't even win with the cheating.
Yeah, well, I wasn't winning the game. I was still the most successful member of our team.
I know. It was a bad weekend.
Yeah. In my defense, I was ill. I'm sticking for that.
I don't have any defense. I just played garbage.
In my defense, I'm terrible.
Okay.
You did get your first one turner.
I did get my first one turner, and as far as I'm aware, that was technically done legally. But who knows? I mean,
This would be unusual one turner on a Nurgle team with the aid of a star player.
Yeah. Skitter stab
take your guesses now. Who could that star player possibly have been? Spoiler alerts: I couldn't afford him, as it turns out.
Okay, so there is a thin line of elves
Yeah.
trying to stop the old world alliance, and I would assume they'll just try to blitz someone every turn
Yeah.
to take elves down and slowly grind up the pitch. The key thing is just to not leave the ball exposed.
No, and also if Dave gets a bit stuck, Core will, if it's getting later in the half, will probably just chance going in, because if the ball comes loose.
Core basically waits for one. I've played him a couple of times in the league, and he just basically waits for the one mistake, and as soon as you do, he pounces. It's terrifying. You can see the look in his eyes. It's like bloodlust.
It's one, well, in one of the finals, I think it was, he scored first half, and then second half didn't move his ball carrier. beyond like about 3 squares from the LOS and just was able to hold position in 1-1-0.
Yeah.
Which is a sort of it's that next level, that elevated tier of players, isn't it, where you can just control things that well.
So it is Core's turn now, and a lot of pressure seems to be going on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
I'll just move the camera so we can see what is happening there.
There we go.
The camera moves.
Well, it's because
It weirdly reminds me of getting a colonoscopy. I'm on.
And on that note, our guest is leaving the
yeah,
booth.
yeah.
Escorted out the building.
Yeah, to be fair, it was Phil that was on cams that day as well. Well, we were doing commentary. It was an exciting thing. It was a slow 8-turn grind.
But it was all clear.
Yeah, it was fine.
So why do you think Core has overloaded the bottom flank? Is it just to tag as many of the old Wood alliances as possible?
Yeah, and maybe he thinks if Dave gets nervous, he might try and swing back the other way, in which case he might get a bit thin.
Another elf has come down to that side of the pitch. There's a lot of pressure
Yeah.
happening there.
I guess perhaps as well, without all that movement to get clear, he's thinking I can contain them this way,
But it is just pushes.
because he's not gonna. Certainly not this early. Dave's not going to try and force his way through and break somebody out, because he wouldn't get support. So, was that a dodge there? Yeah.
There are only 3 elves holding the top of the pitch there. And I'd assume as soon as it's Dave's turn, he'll try to move that tree and just go as far forward as he can.
How many base rerolls have they both got? Presume Core's running off 4 or something by now, is he?
I'll just quickly have a look and
Yeah.
we'll try and see.
How much he didn't have a leader, did he? Oh, I know. It wasn't the leader that went off. Three rerolls, and no leader.
Pause on 3, and I cannot see a leader.
No. And then is Dave on 2 or 3?
Uh,
4.
Dave is on 4.
You know, it's testament to the fact he's not really been. I don't think he's really been battered this season. So saving that money up, it's been that little bit easier. Maybe in a sense of foreshadowing on the other screen that you can't see, the background is in Spanish colours.
The Old World Alliance are just stepping forward to try and do as many blocks as they can. He's not moved the tree first. Now, all that's doing is just gaining 1 square.
Yeah. Let's see here.
He's got more control than I would show. I would have rushed to the top of the screen,
Yeah.
which I'm assuming is some sort of a trap.
Yeah, I guess with the slow play, if you've got people tagged and then you're moving from side to side, you're just gonna get more and more spread, aren't you?
You can tell that I'm either a dark elf or a scathing coach. I'm used to being able to just reposition my whole team in a couple of turns.
I think as well, like Cole would not be averse to a tree route.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Tackle the second effect
Yeah.
there. Root
Through the
through the
armour.
armor. Ooh, that's an
casualty.
injury,
So
yeah.
he's still got his KO. His Apo, hasn't he?
He's still got the apple, but we'll see if it will work. There's been a
And
slight mishap on the rolling of the die.
Yeah. The dice came all the way over here.
And I can't read that.
No idea what that is.
It's a something.
The Apo's gone into the dead box, but I can't see if the player has to.
Oh, I was too late to catch it.
Obviously, either way, with it being an injury.
No additional elf in the dead box, so I'd assume that maybe
Okay, yeah. I think the Apo token's in the dead box, isn't it? And Dave's slightly excitable dice roll in there. A reminder that just start of last month, Dave and Phil both came down to a dice off to win. Death in Davenport both showed steely nerves by wanging their dice off the table. It was a different dice off. It wasn't just a highest roll. It was you had to roll your dice closest to the end of the table without falling off.
Sorry to interrupt you, Alex, but just to let you know, so I had a quick look over. So it looks like the play that went off was the blood shep diving tackle blitzer.
Oh, okay, that
So-
is big. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, obviously you think if Cole was trying to stop the drive and maybe hold out for an Apo on the KO, but I think that's the fourth elf off this
drive, isn't it? Yeah.
So yeah, so he's obviously gone for, you know what? There was a battle here on the dice roll, so I think it was a 1. It looked like a 1.
Okay.
So he's obviously used the Apo just to make sure he's got him 4.
Yeah, that's a super useful
overtime.
piece, isn't it? Yeah, definitely.
With the numbers advantage that Dave has, unless something crazy happens, I think we're expecting this to go to overtime
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I think, again, looking at Cole's face, I think he is also expected to go to overtime as well.
Yeah, I think Cole's already texted his girlfriend to say he'll be home a touch later.
To be fair, though, he does have his own 1-turn chance, doesn't he? So he's got movement 8 catches.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got a side touch catch, I think.
That's true.
As the series of videos on YouTube show, Core does know how to do a one-turner. He's,
Yeah,
he's almost
correct.
an expert at it.
Yes,
Yeah.
he has watched Oliver Deluxe video series, so
If you haven't watched any, of course, there's it's a necro one, isn't it, where he blitzes back and sets up a nice move.
I always, I've watched them before tournaments and think, oh, it's easy. I can do this.
Oh,
this is
double-
in my
Double
mind.
skulls.
That is a double skulls.
And of course, taking it,
He's just going to eat it, yep.
but is he going to eat this?
So yeah, I would say in that case, Cole has accepted probably not going to win this drive, so it's keeping the drive for overtime.
Not through the armour.
And as a block, it wasn't obviously armbar not in play for a block.
No, I had no match blow either nowadays because you have to play to
Yeah.
do the block to match blow.
Yes, this is true.
So I think there may be a mid to late drive dash also by Cole
Yeah.
to see how far he gets.
Yeah.
I doubt he'd put many rerolls in unless he gets an actual hit on the ball.
No.
Are there any halflings on the pitch or anything that would be easy to kill?
Barney is our roving reporter. Roving 5 steps to the right. His own mini time warp.
Anybody who knows Dave knows he's quite fond of some odd miniatures as well as his dice. I believe there is a halfling on the pitch, but I would not put money on it.
Yes, I think the Ludo piece is a halfling, as is the tiny LOL doll. And if you listen carefully, you can just hear the rustle of a packet of crisps. His core powers up, ready for the.
Literally shoved into Cole's pockets out of frustration.
Yeah.
We've all been here though. You feel that you're up on your players,
Yeah.
and it's all going your way, and then somehow you F it up. Because the problem with elves is if the ball ever goes on the ground or anything, they can always do something.
Turns out the Element Cat has also been into the Dungeon Bowl final.
Yes, he is having a little walk around. He came, the Element Cat
Yeah.
came around here early, didn't he?
Yeah, the actual a proper roving reporter. Dave just having to make sure he doesn't get too relaxed here.
No.
Yeah, we're at turn 4, so it looks like the ball's only around that halfway mark. So
Yeah.
you'd like to think by turn 6 when he kind of wants to start to make a move. I'd say with Old World Alliance, with that mix of the dwarves and the loner, all it can take is one bad roll or
Yeah.
2 bad rolls, and all of a sudden the elves might have a little whiff of the action.
Just slowly but surely grind up the pitch. That's all you have to do.
And then, as always, with if we go to overtime, as always with overtime, even though it's not sudden death, like winning the kick if Davis plays up would be huge.
Well, I'm quite excited to see Dave win if he's able to.
Yeah.
I do have to share a car with Core going to the Monkey Bowl this weekend, so I would quite like to not have to hear the stories of his loss over and over again.
Oh, to be fair, so far there's not been any shenanigans involved. I think if the
I think we should tell Course first that, because I think he certainly believes there's been shenanigans.
it's one of the dangers where you carry all of the probabilities and things like that in your head. It can just start to crush you when things aren't happening.
Paul may carry those probabilities in his head, but Dave carries those dice on him. So Dave always
carries-
outweigh probability.
Dave carries home the trophy.
It feels like there's any kind of bias with the refereeing team or the commentating team.
No.
Because there is entirely a lot of bias with all of us.
Yeah.
We won't even pretend to be neutral on this.
He would be the people's champion.
Yeah.
So that was a 4. That was a foul. 6 with only 1 assist, so it does not break the armor.
Yeah. Obviously, if Cole was playing Steve, that would be like, well, you both win all the time.
I think the last time Cole played Steve, they just ran the probabilities through and had them. What else fed out was the result they got.
Begin. Good game. Good game.
Weather conditions on the pitch, very nice. Weather conditions in element games, also lovely. A very pleasant breeze, always welcome in a gaming environment. Is the fire escape open still? Yeah. Yeah, nice. So, how? Dave asking if Cole will take the skull instead, please. Oh.
Not through the armor. It's okay.
Yeah. Core making mention of the fact he hasn't broken an armor yet.
So yeah, I think Cole probably just going from a bit of drop back reform and hopefully making some sort of attempts in maybe 2 turns, I think.
Yeah.
This is the thing that I always have a hard time doing. Core's advice to me when playing Skaven is if you don't get the ball back in the first few turns and you start to lose rats, you should just pull back and save players for the 1-turner. I find it hard to do this because I always try to do it, and then I find that my team is just ground up more and more.
What was that 2+4?
That was a.
Oh, just a rush. Okay.
I think
Was it a rush or dodge?
that was a dodge away.
Okay.
So some elven columns will be appearing.
Ah, yes. I hadn't seen which hand was moving what. Okay.
Now this is a 3+ dodge, I believe,
Outrageous.
which he obviously makes easily,
Yeah.
and into a 2+.
Oh, yeah. Trapdoor on the pitch there. Just a reminder that if you're very unlucky in a game, press enough might activate that trapdoor. And on a very rare day, something might actually happen with it.
I've seen that in the wild once.
Yeah, I think we had it once at Waterbowl where someone asked the rules query because I think in the league president of it tells you what to do with the ball if you got roll a 1 on there, but in the exhibition one it doesn't tell you.
Okay. I'd assume the ball just scatters from that square.
Yeah, one square. Yeah, that's all it is. It's just they forgot to copy and paste that bit over. So, Barney, having played OWA this season, are you a man that could stomach another season of OWA, or will you look for something else next season?
No, I do quite like switching between teams.
Yeah, historically, you've done that, yeah.
Reed last season, Lord this season. I'm not too sure what to do next. Yeah. Honest with you, I think I did Renegades the season before.
Yeah,
so that's
I'm
you a strong team, yeah.
tempted by vampires for the next season, largely because I have an unpainted vampire team that it'd be good to actually put some paint on them.
Yeah.
feel unusually taking a good of tier 1 team, probably the best team I'm Blood Bowl at the moment. So we're all quite shocked by that revelation.
Shocked that I'm taking a tier 1 team. I'm taking a tier 2 team to the Monkey Bowl.
You any thoughts on your taking next season, Alex?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe Necro for the first time in many moons, but there's always the temptation to go back to the Rats, or even give the Slan another go.
The Rats are always calling.
They are always calling, always.
Worst thing that will happen is you will definitely have fun.
Yeah, and a bit more one-turner availability than they said with the Slan, but it's a harder work to get it with 7.
Now the ball is only behind one player, and a tree.
Yeah.
So I could not see the tree man there, although it is quite a lot of contact has happened. Would you be risking leaving this exposed when you have this much of an advantage?
No, I don't think so. It's where somebody in the chat might be able to instantly say, "Well, what about the time you did this?" But yeah, I'd be super wary, A, because it's elves, and B, because it's core. So
That is a cage, but
Yeah.
there is a 4+ dodge in there, and if you can cancel out the assist, you can do a 1-die with, well, a 1-die blitz, which is the best chance that core seems to have had for a while.
maybe double
And
skulls.
double skulls come out. Okay.
Maybe he's thinking if core is willing to come in, you know, what will he do if he knocks the ball loose? So is that
Dice has got into this, like a dwarf.
yeah, loner, is it? Succeed first
Loner's
time.
passed, yeah.
Yeah, unlike the one in the first half. But can we get anything results? Yeah, okay, a good conversion.
There's a sidestepper.
Oh, okay.
Sidestep guards.
Okay, but course taking it away from the action.
Decides to sidestep away from the tree.
Although maybe that's to help with, it could be to help with swinging around potentially. But it feels like core probably want to sustain the banks to make it harder for Dave to break through. Because it only takes, doesn't it, 1 or 2 turns of getting a bit stuck, but like a little bit of panic to set in. Some heavy finger work going on bottom of the screen.
Yeah, Dave's bringing in some heavy use.
Okay, this is Dave's turn 11.
Oh, okay. So plenty of time still.
There's plenty of time, but he is only at the halfway line.
Yeah. Both down,
1-die block with both down.
and they are both down.
They are
are
both down, yeah.
Yeah, I think that takedown's a little bit behind. I think this is turn 13 off of Dave's 5th turn in the second half.
Okay.
So was that
That is
2 logos? Was it?
Dave through the armor, and that is an injury. That is another elf. So that 1-die block has been
Yeah.
worth it so far.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. Oh, and there you go. There was a little fun moment there where obviously Core's very aware he's not breaking armor. Dave is also aware, and his face both said, showed recognition of that, but also a little bit of delight that didn't go anywhere near breaking the armor, which is, entirely fair and understandable.
And the elf is dead.
Okay.
And
The Apo was gone.
Yeah. Okay.
the
He's dead, Dave.
indifference by which
Everybody's
Thor
dead.
threw the elf into the dead box means even if he had 15 apothecaries, he would not be treated to one. 3 deaths.
Oh, 3 deaths. Wow.
3 dead
Oh,
elves.
was one a dodge to that?
Dead.
Oh no, yeah. Yeah, everybody's
They're all dead, Dave.
Oh yeah. Good lord. 1, 16, 16, 16. Well, that is efficient. Efficient.
Wow. Oh shit. Look at that.
Wow.
While that is bad, there is still enough of a bench for Core to be able to field 11 in overtime.
Yeah, that's also true, isn't it? And has he got any KOs as well to come back? Was it all?
There's 2 in the KO box
Yeah.
so far as well.
So yeah. So
At the moment, so he had a team of
15,
I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
So he's down capped at 12 at the most. So he just needs one of the KOs to come back. So
Yeah.
13.
And and obviously to go to overtime, he'd get 2 goes to get the KO back, wouldn't he? So. But it does
I am concerned that Dave is only 1 square into Core's half.
I think this turn he has to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to.
Yeah. Another flash.
And it looks like he should try to wrap round along the bottom of the screen.
Oh, it's another armor, heavy armor break. The sound box has gone off again.
This
Core's joined
first
again.
armor break by Core.
Oh,
The
it's
first
core.
armor
Oh, it's
break-
core.
Yeah.
Oh, hence my confusion. Hence my confusion. Oh, what's going on? Check those dice. Oh, casualty.
Here we go.
So,
Don't call it. Come back.
so yeah. So if it's badly hurt, maybe it gets used. 1. Oh no, 6. 5. Sorry, it's badly hurt, isn't it?
Core does the D6 to see if it is high or low.
Oh, of course he does.
Yes, and then the D8 will tell you what the roll is. So that is a 5, which means he could use the Apo to bring it back.
Yes. No, big.
Oh, it's just lineman, was it?
It's not just lineman, it's a dwarf lineman with armbar.
Oh, okay.
So that's the deadly skill on. Actually, no, it's not the deadly skill because it's killed 3
Yeah,
players.
yeah. Okay. So
It was only badly hurt, but he has opted not to upper it.
yeah, interesting. I suppose I might be thinking there might be a key KO or something still to come.
He does still have three players in
Another
the
dodge
bench.
failed.
Okay. Okay. So that's handy for Dave, and that didn't turn into.
But if this is his 6, he needs to move now. He needs to get down the pitch.
So yeah, so the ball is on his dodge thrower. So you know he has not great options for the dodge. You know, it's still a 1 in 9 chance, but it's only movement 6, so isn't it for the thrower?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so he needs at least 2 turns to get over the line, doesn't he?
well, with only 2 turns, that still needs 2 go for something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he actually has to get in to cause half this turn.
So
Seems
that's
to
some
be
consideration.
being drawn into combat at the top.
Yeah. Hand off to the tree, much less likely to get hit.
I would have swung round the bottom, but we're trying to push through the top.
Yeah.
That's wrong. Isn't that right? 6. I believe.
Actually, chat, let's just see if we die down there. I thought you worried that wasn't working. That's my colour.
Yeah, there's 11 for each.
Okay, there's a rush happening.
Oh, okay.
That's another one through the armor.
So at least somebody who's not going to be available for a turn. Yeah,
Fine,
just a
fine.
stun. Okay. Couple of, is that a couple of stuns there?
Yes.
Because Core turned over, didn't they, on the dodge, right? So
Stuns, but the ball is still 2 squares into Dave's on half.
yeah. But perhaps
This is the big root roll for the treatment coming up. So, is he going to get mobile?
The tree is not moving. Okay.
Was he rooted now?
Okay.
He's trying to move forward.
I mean, still a nice barrier, I guess. You can come around that side.
I'm not moving.
The ball is moving.
And not very far.
No.
Going for some cagey play here. So you feel if Core can stymie things on his turn, this could open things up on turn 7.
Yeah, I'm expecting the elves to dodge back and make your columns,
Yeah.
and then force the Old World Alliance to only gain another square, and they need to get more.
Yeah, this is the problem. Core's very adept at squeezing the life out of things.
Yeah.
I don't mean rabbits. I mean, it's just the game. Yeah, it's not a mice and men situation.
Just wants to pet that rabbit. Oh, George. I'm sorry, George.
If Dave concedes, he just flips his finger over so you can see the inside of it. Yeah, so
Curiously, I didn't notice earlier on during the setup of the kickoff, he was using his index finger for pointing.
oh, okay.
And as soon as he got into the half proper, we switched back to the middle finger. So that must be his preferred
Oh, okay.
finger of choice for betting game action.
Okay, here goes the elves making, if not columns, just a line of elves to stop the Old World Alliance from being able to move through.
Looks like Corey's going to try and build a wall of elves and try and make Dave pay for it.
Should have vexed him by just opening one massive pathway to them through and then just swamping him.
Making blitz.
Okay. Looks effective.
How effective?
Not through.
Not enough now.
Wow.
Now that tree is in an annoying place, so anyone who wants to move around it will have to lose at least a square of movement.
I mean, do you think that we end up?
When you say annoying, do you mean for Dave or for Cor?
Oh, skull both down.
Annoying for Dave.
No. Oh, no, it's not through. Yeah. Oh, what's through?
Video replay.
Give it 6 hours.
Okay. So, yeah, do you think we see a swing around here?
I expected that
No?
that last turn. I mean,
Feels now that that's what Core's offering as well, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Because he's got the pace to get around and at least tag or.
it's just it doesn't matter if you don't get into scoring range.
No, that's it. Okay, Dave's standing up. It feels like some kind of business happening. unless it's arthritis.
Okay, yeah, he's working out exactly where he needs to be.
Queeve, we've got a different Irishman here.
I'll have to pull the camera back because a quite dramatic movement could be happening. So on the bottom left of the screen, a dice has been marked, and that is the row that Dave needs to get to this turn.
And here we get a nice little shot of Dave's head. Unfortunately, with Dave being a bit shorter than Core, he's not quite as reaching the camera as Core used to, but we're still getting a nice little glimpse of the top right corner.
Okay, so a bit of screening off. See for bad form to mark your dice with a fail result. That's now what I got for root.
That's his root dice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so he can get there for 6. So there'll be rushes involved if he wants to get any closer.
I would say at least one rush, because it looks like there would be 2 rushes to score, but 1 push so he can't score. So at least if you get the 1 rush forward, then just at least 1 push from Cole wouldn't be enough.
Just wanting to confirm for myself and the viewers at home, this is turn 7, isn't it?
It is indeed Dave's turn. So.
Okay, so if no one is in scoring range by the end of this,
don't move back.
Then it is all over.
So as Dave just decided not to go as adventurous, the dice just moved back a square or 2.
Okay, so the die is now marking where you need to be to be able to score with 2 rushes.
It's 1-0 to Core. Simple. 3-1. Bring back the sexy Irishman. Dave Allen's been dead for a while.
Okay, Dave is and ahhing, but at some point, people are just going to have to run.
Yeah.
And what you want to do is to not block your own path off.
With your big finger.
I mean, finger or players or tree.
Back on the index finger today.
Has he got enough just that he can move it?
You know what would be quite useful in this kind of situation?
No, which plays a which.
A movement 8 capture.
Moving a capture would be great.
Really useful.
Is this a 1 die or is this a 2 die blitz?
My ears are telling me 2.
Yeah.
I would not risk the whole game on a 1 die blitz unless I absolutely had to.
No, that's a little rich for my liking at this point.
That's a blatant lie by Alex. He would love a 1 dice in this juncture.
He's moving a player before
I'd
he does the blitz.
I'd love it to work. Yeah.
All of these players aren't doing anything now. They need to get into scoring range, or at least somebody needs to get into scoring range.
Maybe he's not getting into scoring range. Draw Core in, and then use Core's players to secondary push back himself into scoring range to shenanigans it on
So,
turn 8.
ladies and gentlemen, the next competition we're going to run is in the next 2 minutes. How long before Philip screams at David, put someone into the scoring range?
Okay.
Oh, was that half?
He
Was
is-
that half dice?
Finally,
Oh,
he's
okay,
finally
no. Okay,
committed,
that's good.
and he's got the power.
I thought first in his face that it was a half dice.
That was
Oh, okay,
Through
that's
the armor.
good.
Yep.
All good. So any armor breaks now, very welcome. Just get potential dangers. Oh yeah,
Ooh,
KO.
another remove.
That player landed quite heavily in the KO box. It's got 2 skills on it.
Ooh, and that was the blitzer. That was the sidestep guarding blitzer.
Oh, okay.
So no blitzers for Core on the pitch now.
That was why he needed to get the flash, otherwise he would have sidestepped to make it worse.
So in fact, so talking of players, so Core will only have the 2 movement 8 catches left on the pitch. The rest will just be the movement 6.
Okay.
So he's not hugely fast team now, is he?
No, I suppose though he doesn't need to retrieve a ball. He just needs to stop Dave. So
Yeah, so just the 2 catches for Core, everything else movement 6. So
So
if you can try and bracket those catches, it might not be horrible to just run out.
So looking at the picture, because I can't see which players are which. Does Dave definitely need rushes to be in range for the cage, or is he? Can he move it into range?
Yeah,
around?
yeah, because at the moment Dave is still in his half of the ball carrier,
Yeah.
so I think movement 6, I think he's probably, as Phil said earlier with the tree, that's just exactly the wrong spot. He's probably going to need 2 to 3 rushes at least over the next 2 turns.
Okay.
I'm trying not to scream it because the people at home don't want to hear me say it over and over again. But he does need to just.
Well, I've still got 10 seconds, so if you scream in 10 seconds, then I would win the next competition.
Now calmly say, please get someone into scoring range.
So I think Dave has a look at someone who knows what he has to do, but he's still a bit worried to do it.
Yeah.
I think this is the next thing I need to unlock with my play. I'm too cautious, and I don't do rushes unless I absolutely have to. And there are times where the risk of being able to get that one more square can really change a whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read an interesting discussion. I think it was on one of the Team England discords where it was about doing the rushes, a couple of turns early, because if you can get them earlier in your drive, you're not going to have to do them later in your drive. But is it worth it to secure your position? What are the chance of a rush failing? I mean, really.
Barely ever happens. It's fine.
Especially if you've got sure feet. I mean,
Yeah. Don't be too cavalier if it's with your Norse lineman.
In the blizzard.
In the blizzard, yeah. Oh,
Okay, the ball has moved,
he's gone.
but it has not gone far enough.
That does not appear to be in scoring range.
No, he's like.
The score is 1-0 to Core, and Dave has to score this drive to take it into overtime.
Okay, so 4+. So okay, so he has realised the range. Because he needs to be.
So I think
He's
he's currently moving the blitzer, so that is in range of the blitzer now.
Okay.
But I think he's just in range, so I think he will be able to be pushed out of range.
Yeah. So we're moving 7, 4 squares in will be in range. Dave hasn't got any side step, has he? Another rush from somebody. Oh no, it's one dice hit. Okay.
Right? Yeah, I think he's trying to control those catches at the moment.
Okay.
I've got to think all Cole has to do is push that blitzer 1 square back and it's game over.
Is there anyone else Dave can get into range?
Are these both your blitzers?
There's only one.
Okay, so
one blitzer for the OWA. Is it? Judging by the height of the cyan ring,
then
I believe that is either a dwarf or a halfling.
Okay.
Then you need
And the tree is rooted, so if the halfling is not next to the tree, the throw is not an option either.
Dave has the look of a man
It's Core's turn.
who feels that he is perhaps made a boo-boo. And I guess the other thing is that there might be a secondary pushback available here somewhere. But this feels huge.
Core's just straight all over it.
Yeah. I suppose he might. Presume he's going to blitz that one, but he might not.
So I think he's just trying to play a 2 blitz. Big rolls.
Oh, okay.
Well, that is good enough. That is good enough to wrestle down and.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought for a second that was the. Okay, so Cole just checking,
just double checking who's can score.
and now he's about to take away the fun.
Is there a harpoon next to the tree or anything like that? Here comes the blitz. This is a big blitz. And it's a double palm. Okay, I've just heard from Marnie there is a halfling next to the tree.
I don't think it's a halfling. It does have snake
Oh, it's
gait.
through the
It is
armour,
very
through the
small
armour.
and oddly shaped. So I think it's representing a halfling, but it itself
Just a
is not
stun
halfling.
here. So we know that the thrower can't score. We said that.
The thing is, it's so easy from the sidelines to say exactly what you should
Oh
do.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So options here is to push the piece with the blue skill band a square forwards and try and score with that, or hand off to the halfling and then pass that.
Oh, so Core's working around the
So I
back there.
think the piece with the is it the light cyany blue skill band? I think that's a Slayer.
Okay.
Okay,
Right,
so
well then-
frenzy help. Yeah.
Well, when I look over, it looks orange in the middle, so that looks, I'd assume, some form of beard
Yeah, is a
or hair.
Have we missed jump up on anyone or anything?
No, there
Oh,
are
no,
now two
okay.
elves on the halfling though.
oh, see a bunch of sixes here just to get psychological into
Yeah.
Dave's head. So is this Dave's definitely Dave's 16?
This is indeed. Yeah.
Okay, so we need some magic here from Dave.
So he's moving in. He's got the guardian. He'll be doing a blitz to try and knock both of the elves off.
So there will be a dodge. The thrower does have dodge, so at least that's not a team reroll if he needs.
But first, he needs to blitz these two elves
Yeah.
off.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's deciding which block dice to use.
You use the best ones.
Okay. We
In the
could,
book,
if this works, we're in for some late
There's a rush.
game razzle
Oh, no, it's not known.
dazzle.
oh,
Okay.
So
nice! I didn't know it's about that. Yeah, so pushing the halfling a bit closer.
Nice. Oh, to try and get a hand off potential.
okay. So it is going to be a dodge, then hand off.
Hand off
He has
has been declared.
declared. He has physically said the words hand off. So
Yeah.
no.
Pixie backsies.
Yeah.
The drama is palatable.
So 3+ required here.
With dodge.
Yeah,
Dodge first.
that's success.
The dodge is good.
Oh yeah.
Animosity.
Okay, good. So 5-4. So now we need a 3 for this.
Yep. So now I just needs to catch.
He's got it.
Okay.
And just an FYI, the halfling isn't alone, so he can use rerolls. He doesn't
Okay.
like everyone else, but he can use rerolls.
Okay.
So the tree is going to throw the halfling.
Oh, I mean this to be fair, whilst we've got a bit tense.
So
right here.
that's the halfling. That's his desired destination. Coming from the tree with strong arms, so it's just a 2.
2+,
But a 5
yeah,
or
to
6,
launch
I
it, yeah.
believe, will make
Superb.
it superb.
Yeah, and then we need just a bit of fortune with the.
Oh, it's a 1.
So,
Okay.
is it only 3+?
4+ for the tree.
4+.
Ooh.
Okay.
Here we go. Here we go.
Come on, Dave. Let's keep it interesting.
Oh, my heart's all racing.
Oh, it's a
Lone has passed.
Holy moly! Can you get 2+? Okay.
okay. So it's inaccurate. So it's 4+ the land.
Okay.
Yes.
But the main thing here is that
Where
this goes for. Has to go
where's the
forward.
halfling going to go?
So currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So he needs at least 2 forward, doesn't he?
Oh!
Okay. All that has to happen now
Okay.
is the halfling has to land.
4+.
I've not seen a man this nervous since a few years ago when a man needed a 6 to make the path roll. And that man's name was Philip.
Come on.
Here we
Dave.
go.
No,
The
2+.
2.
So reroll.
Well, I
Come
can
on,
reroll.
come on, Dave.
The
Come
reroll
on.
is gone. Here comes the sound box.
Oh, the soundbox is in.
Oh, big show bears.
The 6. Okay.
Oh, Dave.
Okay. We still have a game. We still have a game. It's not over yet, folks.
No, but
It's-
that's exciting.
It's just going to go to overtime.
Also-
The Old World Alliance
Oh,
have lost.
some key
Four.
KOs for Cole.
Yeah.
Always getting flashbacks.
have I got-
Six is streaming in.
Test my bladder. See if let's see if I've got time to go for a wee before.
But the Old World Alliance have used all of their rerolls.
1-1 though.
The next big question is how many of the elves will come back, and then who is going to win the kick? Because with 8 turns of overtime, that is going to make a huge difference. Oh yes, yeah.
Get the guard size.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, you have pointed out that there is a chance for Core to come back with the one turner. So I was caught up with the half-in score that I forgot all about Core's attempts to come back. As I said earlier, Core is quite adept at doing one-turn scores.
Allegedly,
How many rerolls has Core got left?
just 3.
Core has 3 rerolls left, which means this is the best chance that he will get to be able to do it, and he's definitely got the players.
Is there anything more exciting than a throw teammate touchdown? Excellent Blood Bowl.
So we've got side step catch up ball.
Uh,
We have a guard. Let's go.
Barney's saying there was a side step catcher for the elves and a guard blitzer to make it easier.
Oh. Oh. And he's got one thrower left as well. So it is.
The odds are as good as they can be to make this one turn happen.
So.
I had a little template thing there in my haste this morning.
Okay, the Old World Alliance have decided to put as many tackle zones as they can between the elves and the end zone.
Going for the expanded rank, so that even if Core does get through it, ideally he's going to do numerous 3+s instead of just, one big 4+, 3+, 2+. And there are 3 tackles, I think, in the back line. So the top 2 players, are, as you see them, and the bottom player are tackled. I think the third one is a Parkling, so I'd assume that will be the guy that's called we're running through.
So, 3 rerolls left to do, yes.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Sorry, nothing wrong with it. Okay. Ambitiously bought myself some crisps, so we'll not get touched until the end of this game.
So
Not
the
on the
rest of Dave's setup, the treatment is on the top of the line of scrimmage. So obviously with Stantham and that, no juggernauts of course. So the players could be going through. I would assume the bottom player, but it's core, so it could be any of the other players on the pitch.
Do you think this is the best defense against this particular one turner, or would going along the end zone with all of your tackle be better?
The fact that Matt's going to tickle Core as he rolls the dice is pretty going to help. Yeah,
I quite like this one. Unfortunately, I think the only person to answer that question is currently working out how to beat this.
Yeah, you'd think 3. Maybe potentially if it's a blitz, you get a different.
Very shallow.
Is it 11? Yeah, Fisher's Wrath. Yeah.
Ooh, a Fisher's Wrath.
So yeah.
This could stop the one turner.
No.
No, it's not.
It could open things up for.
Yeah.
Core,
Having said that, if the wrong player on the line of scrimmage goes,
That's
could
true for the
create some
pushback. Yeah.
issues. So counting from the tree is number 1.
Three.
Ooh, so that is on the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
So now the player in the middle has to be the person who push. And then, so they are stunned, which again
Yeah.
could cause issues for Core.
Yeah.
And the player just being in the way.
Yeah.
Because we need to answer questions from the chat, it is jalapeno.
Oh yes. Yeah, jalapeno and dill from Pipers.
Other crisps are available.
Pipers are not a sponsor of this stream, unlike Desperado, which are sponsoring me. Okay. Here goes Core.
Quick update, he is singing. This is really annoying. So if he's singing, then you know it is really annoying.
So obviously Dave will be heading for flashes all the way.
The handover has been made.
Yeah.
Means
Again, so nerves are still on the catcher, so it doesn't really matter when it's done. It just
Yeah.
So handy.
they got excited.
there will be a number of dodges that have to happen, and if the orange skill bars are representing tackle, the last ones will be through tackle.
So I mean that is an extra help, isn't it? And who knows? Maybe there's a further intervention for armbar to make before her overtime. Oh,
Okay, that is not
that's
good.
Not good.
Cool, we'll have to spend a re-roll on that.
Come on, double flash it.
And that is it. The
Oh,
one turner is
We are
over.
going to overtime,
Overtime.
presumably, unless there's a pushback we've missed. He needs to get forward. What, 3?
This could be an interesting moment. If they does push a button on the sound machine, there is a possibility that Cole would break that.
I could finally see a table flip.
I think Dave's going mad.
Dave is laughing at Core, which is not the wisest thing to do right now.
I couldn't tell whether Dave's just being broken by the tension. Looks like it, Dan. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Core will still have 2 left to Dave's 0.
But a big.
It's called it then overtime.
Yeah.
No.
So it's 8 turns. So.
An hour left. Isn't there?
Yeah.
One more than an hour. Hour 15.
Yeah. So yeah, they've made good time. There's been very few sort of sticky turns where it's taken a while to unpick it. So was that the roll of the kick or?
This is the roll for the kick. It is a 1 and a 4. It's Core's choice.
Okay.
Core will, I'm assuming, receive the kick.
So I'm sure they'll remember, but that should remind them that it's not sudden death. Normally it turns,
sudden
it's not,
death, yeah.
it's not sudden
8
death.
turns.
Yeah. And then I pick the winner, regardless of the score.
I think that score was made a lot harder than it needed to be.
Yeah. So Cole's got 2 rerolls left. Is that 1 for Dave? It looks like he's definitely got a reroll in the bank.
Now, Alex, if you were Core, would you just try to score in 2?
Then just 1, then disrupt.
Yeah. Or would you try and do a good 8-turn drive? Because you are down 1 L's.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And the more chance you get to get pounded.
What happens if it is a draw? If it's a draw at the end of overtime,
Dice off.
it just goes
The best of 5 dice off, yeah.
just goes to a dice off. Okay.
Oh, there's a reroll here coming. Okay.
Okay. This is a 4. This could be huge if David can get a reroll. He does not. Core gets another one. Core's back up to 3. David is on 0.
Needed that reroll.
So Cole will be feeling pretty good. 3 rerolls in the bank. He's got 11 hours on the pitch.
El-
There's still plenty that can obviously go belly up though.
L's moving back to cover the ball, and now some blocks are coming out.
Yeah.
Just pushes.
But again, you can have all the rerolls you want if you stuff up the key action.
Yeah.
We've not had any further appearances from Alex Barbano, so it's just that the dungeon boulders go in the distance. Okay, so no armor again there.
Apologies, crew. I have been away. Can someone update me what we're up to?
So Cole won another reroll from the kickoff.
Yeah. And he's receiving the kickoff.
Yeah,
He is receiving the kick. Yep.
That's 4 rerolls to. Oh no,
Three.
3 to
three.
0,
Yeah,
Three
and
to
obviously the one he's just won is just for this drive.
Yes, correct.
which is the end of the season.
Well, that's the interesting thing, isn't it? If a few players start to go.
But again, if Kloss scores an 8, Dave would still have his 1 turn
Yeah.
defense with his bookie half a year.
It would be glorious.
It would.
Absolutely glorious to score another halfling throw.
In fact, I hope it happens. I hope it happens. It looks like Claude does have 11 on the pitch as well, so
Yeah.
still got one in reserve. So that bench proving invaluable.
Thing is, because they've made good time with this game. It's not one of those where you get into overtime where you're absolutely frazzled.
Here's the pickup.
So
The,
let's go the ball.
the
Yeah.
elf is easily able to get the ball,
Yeah.
and one he dodges back just to get some guard behind it.
Question is now, is Dave feeling still sharp? Is he feeling things have swung Cole's way a little bit with the re-roll and the kick? Does that sort of entice him into something risky? He's not been risky the whole game.
I think you have to go almost full contact and either force Core to score early,
Yeah.
so that you can come back, or cause a dodge away from tackle to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just hang back and try to stop the elves, they'll just slowly push down the pitch.
Yeah.
Although taking an elf off now could help a lot.
That's through.
That's through the armor. Here we go. And that's not enough.
This has not been, okay, again on Dave's stride, it made sense there wouldn't be any fouling, particularly because he was trying to protect the ball. We saw a little bit of putting the boot in, didn't we, end of the first half. Wonder whether we'll see any more of that here in overtime, or whether they will just look to protect all of his players, not risk having anyone sent off.
This is the problem of you playing against Core. Even when you're up your players,
Yeah.
it can feel hard to get the foul because you have to cover everything.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess in the first half he didn't start putting the boot until he was 2 men up, did he? So
That is an excellent question.
we can't ask him either. Oh,
We had forgotten about that. So
yeah. I remember it in the second half, but I have definitely forgotten. I'll just try and mentally send that over to him now.
we need somebody in a wizard costume to sort of
Yeah.
walk behind the scene.
Or a sudden outburst of.
We are in over the game, so that's not out of the question.
That's true. I mean, that is what the bars warlocks, isn't it? Yeah, if someone wants to crack out the. We're off to see the wizard.
Yeah, that could change everything. Just one fireball could just open it up.
This is one of the difficulties, isn't it? Where you've not got, you haven't got a concrete thing to remind you. Yeah, if this was the Waterbowl weekend, we could have the just slip a cheeky song into the Waterbowl soundtrack.
Sorry, Danny, if you could just clarify, do you mean songs by the band Wizard or songs about wizards?
Yeah, perhaps, I mean, my Spanish isn't that strong. Maybe I'll just go and ask Dave what the Spanish word is for wizard.
The tree is not rooted.
Yeah, Dave, the guys now are having a debate.
So how would I say in Spanish? Use your
No, the trick will be to ask Cor what is wizard in Danish.
Oh,
There's
nice.
nothing to do with
Very good. Yeah.
Core is shocked that the treeman has moved from its starting square. It did spend most of the second half in the same square and then rooted.
I did have this. No, it wasn't in the final, but I remember playing in the Vets League. Stupidly, two playoff games back to back, and I had that inducement in my second game, and went the whole way to overtime. Went through it, and then at the end, I was frustrated because it was against White Lord, and then he was like, "Why didn't you use?" I was like, "Oh," because I was brain dead. 6 hours of Blood Bowl was too much.
2 flashes come out.
Yeah. Well, Alex has come over. Maybe he will accidentally ask without knowing.
Not through the armor.
No.
You can physically see that Core's mood has changed.
Yeah. Perhaps Dave has remembered the core has forgotten. that would be glorious. Can't remember which of the coaches has got those cheating anal beads that they use in chess.
Spelling wizard in Morse code would take a while.
I shouldn't start to send to use your.
Dungeon Bowl. You know them?
Dungeon Bowl is still going. The Wood Elves have the ball though, pretty near their own end zone.
Okay.
I think next turn, unless they can do the other 3 teams, who by the way are not ganging up on the Wood Elves, but are also beating each other up way more than us. I keep trying to drop hints like, oh, so the vampires are hitting the dwarves, even though the Wood Elves are running away with the ball. So I think it's looking like a Wood Elf win. I think. Yeah.
That's a good shout, Dan. I think they're quite pricey, those anal beads. Alex is nodding and he knows.
I think the big question from the booth at the moment is that Ado's familiar with Ringbeard. He is famously very messy of hair and beard, but he's looking very neat. So
Yeah,
I think his partner may have tied him down and
got
No, it's because the baby grabbed it otherwise.
Okay.
I have to keep it short.
So
I'll lose it either way. Like.
so the other thing is that HMRC are clamping down on DJs.
I think I'm definitely not losing.
No.
honest, his latest tax return season now a used car salesman, and there are some certain breaks.
Okay. Core is shifting to the bottom of the screen.
Yes. He is.
I think I agree with you, but I think Dave maybe turned 2 or 3 turns hitting, but then just all in all contact, just you're playing core with elves, who's going to make the right moves.
Yeah.
You have to hope that something happens.
He's not going to fail a dodge if he doesn't have to make a
Yeah.
dodge. Make 36 dodges. One of them hopefully will get that.
It's been hard. It's been hard to tell. I wonder if takedown Terry has had any impact on this game.
That's something too with this. You know, even if you got an injury now, if you went back to the initial screen, your eyes would not take you to the start of the game. So unless you're double checking the weather. Both players still with the energy to have a laugh in overtime. So a reminder that
10% in the UK.
all of the streaming here this evening has been set up for us by Matt from Geek Pride. It's super helpful. It's been really nice to be able to stream a game and to have the extra cameras and things that we didn't have the last time we were able to do this. But very nice of Matt to give up several hours of his time to come and do this for us. So if you're into things, whether it's D&D or other gaming, they do a whole bunch of stuff on the Geek Pride channel. So it's very active. So do check it out on YouTube and Discord. Is this still a little bit of early phony war activity?
Okay, as I pull the camera back, we can see that there's a lot of pitch that needs to be covered by the Old World Alliance.
Yeah. 11. Yeah. Yeah. They normally. Yeah. They normally start winding things up at 10:30, don't they? So yeah, that's just a question about what time Element closes.
A better question would be if Core, can you hear us? What time is your usual bedtime, Core? And I know this answer, but I'm asking. Yes. Oh, he's usually wrapped up in bed.
Yeah.
Apologies.
My usual bedtime is when I deleted somebody. You did? Yeah, you were here for ages, Matt. Oh,
Some more power coming out.
That's Mega Smack.
All we need is another just 8-8s. We're not even
8-8s. Oh, that's 8.
Eight?
Oh yeah.
we're not even being greedy. We don't want 10s.
Just
8s.
another 8.
8 will do us. 8 will do us.
That's not an 8. That's a 2.
But it's not a foul. It's okay. There's a stun again.
Unfortunately, it's not caused dodge, so it's.
Look at any of those breaks. Just making it a little bit more difficult for Core to fully control the board on his next turn.
I remember the day when the sets would close with the last person.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, me too.
There used to be the guy at the glasses, and we'd be playing like 2 o'clock, and he'd just be sitting beside us.
Yeah.
While we were playing till 3 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
Okay, with that last player in, it does seem like the screen is complete from the Old World Alliance.
What I will say is if we make it all the way to the dice off and he still has an inducement left, that he can use that to destroy 4 of Core's rolls.
I think the problem is when you normally use Wizard, you are playing online, and it prompts you at the start and end of every turn.
Yeah. And yeah, so it might have been front and center in that first half, but then on Dave's drive, just not something you want to risk.
It's an easy one, just in the heat of the moment, isn't it? Because you don't often have a wizard. So.
No.
And usually there's no little wizard type model in Dave's dugout.
But as you can see, some of the elves have lapped around at the top of the screen. That will probably be at least one elf in scoring range.
Yeah.
And Core has shifted sides again because he has the speed over the Old World Alliance.
I guess barring a huge cock up here, like a huge thing going down, Dave's not going to be risking any rerolls on Core's drive, given that it's likely that he's going to have to go for a 1 or 2 turn score. Depending.
Dave does not have any rerolls.
Is he not going?
No, he is out of rerolls.
Oh, I suppose he's 2 on his scored in at the end of turn 16.
He is
This is like a loose token over there.
He is playing the purest form of Blood Bowl.
Yeah. So yeah, so course experience, full squads on the pitch, or full 11 on the pitch, and three rerolls or 2 rerolls. Yeah. He would be there. Given it's 1-1, having a heavy favourite feels like overstating it, but definitely the favourite here.
The blitz comes out.
Well, it's Dave's sandbox there. Oh, is that a rush?
Failed 3+ dodge.
Oh,
It's down.
double ones.
Armbar on this as well. Armbar.
It is through. It's through.
Oh, beautiful.
Armbar.
Armbar.
Oh, sorry, on a dodge.
Nice block, yes.
Oh, is it?
Armbar comes.
Is it? I thought it was just
Armbar
in the- I thought it was
comes
just in
through
the
again.
armbar.
Yeah. We're just checking in the rules to see if armbar works like mighty blow, but if it does, then that is a KO.
Yeah. In my head, it's just on the armor, but because it very rarely comes up, or it never comes up for me on fumble.
Either the
Oh, perfect.
you may apply a +1 modifier to either the armor roll or injury roll. This
Oh, there you
modifier
go.
may be applied after the roll has been made and may be applied even if this player is now prone.
So a little KO.
So-
What's that? Yeah.
Armbar
That is the end of that rule.
for the third time has made a difference in this game.
That's yeah. Yeah, again, we're not a sports betting site, but if you're taking the over/under on armbar uses in this game, 3 would have been ambitious, I think.
This is affecting my Monkey Bowl skill picks because armbar seems to be the way forward.
Yeah. It's all with the
Just across the board,
It's like to keep throwing one.
10
It's not like Kai Bell.
10 times armbar. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, some nice covering from the old world.
There's still quite a lot of players who are stuck on the bottom of the screen and are not really having an impact at the moment. The problem is there are still elves on that side of the
Yeah.
pitch, and if you don't tag them, they will just run through.
Genkor's looking for if he has to score earlier than 8 to keep. He's had quite a good run. Well, not on avoiding injury, but the KOs have been pretty good at coming back.
Yeah.
The really good thing I'm playing over the line, otherwise I'm not doing this thing again.
Now, at the moment, there is a screen in place, but one blitz can just punch a hole in it.
Yeah.
Ooh, some pushes.
Keeps them in the mixers and keeps them in contact.
From the way you move there, that must be one of the sidestep blitzers.
Oh, okay, yeah. And that's his other thing, is it fiendish?
I have to ask Alex, was this the final you were expecting?
Before the semis, or
Just the way the match has gone.
oh, I see. In terms of how it's played out, I didn't think that. Yeah, I thought Dave stood a really good chance of winning.
Okay.
I certainly didn't expect it to come down to a throw and halfling on turn 16. I thought Dave would have been like parked in course half,
Yeah.
a turn or two beforehand. It's that the effect of the big game and the big opponent, isn't it? Probably coming to bear. I thought Dave couldn't have asked for things have gone how you would if you were planning out how your game would go. You say, okay, you're going to do X number of armor breaks and things like that. It's been a solid game. The dice have been friendly in the main, haven't they? Other than the one failed loner reroll, there's not been a big.
I think it's been unfortunate how many of Core's KOs have come back.
Yeah.
But then Core purposely bought a deep bench just to be able to deal with all of the casualties that he would take.
Yeah, definitely. Another flash. So again, somebody else who's not going to be up and helpful next turn.
There is still a big gap that the elves will be able to run through if, unless it's filled by the end of the turn. Oh, that is another armor break. And that is an injury.
Yeah. Is that? I mean, they're all useful bodies, aren't they? But I wonder if that's a particularly useful player. So another cash.
But
so we've had a KO and a casualty in the last sort of what was it? The end of Core's turn into this one, wasn't it? Because it was the failed dodge for the armbar.
Yep.
And then we've had the casualty as well. So 2 more elves off the pitch.
9 elves, it's still 9 elves.
Yeah, I mean, we of course scored a 9 in the first half.
As we predicted, though, Core's just switched inside and is coming down to the other side of the pitch. And there is now definitely an elf in scoring range.
Yeah.
Ooh, it does look like one of the ones that went off recently was the diving tackle blitzer.
Okay.
The launching diving tackle.
Nice.
That's just a good one just for keeping his place occupied, isn't it?
Yeah. So again, I mean, in terms of forcing Core to do an earlier score, that whittling is going to help, isn't it? And Core doing some knocking down of his own. But going rogue and not rolling in the dice cup logo. Thanks, Dave.
And was punished by rolling 2 ones.
To be fair, I think he'll take that double one every day of the week.
Yeah. Core will be happy as long as that's not any more of his dodges.
Would you go for the elf that is the scoring threat, or would you just
on the hit now?
Yeah,
on Dave's turn.
On Dave's turn, would you carry on putting pressure on the ball?
How far away is he from the person there? Yeah, I think I'd be tempted to. He's got enough place to keep some contact on.
Turn 5, so it'll be Dave's turn 5. So Core were to score on 6. They've got 3 turns, which is.
Be happy with that.
Well,
no, I don't mean it's a gimme, but like that's not unreasonable either, is it?
No.
Yeah, particularly if you get a shallow kick. And Core's KOs don't come back.
Yeah. Here's a rush.
He can't.
Oh no, that was a dodge.
Yeah. Because we're 9 players, he'd be struggling to cover all the bases.
Again, so we're down to 2 catches, 1 blitzer, so still not a huge amount of speed for Core, is it?
No. Yeah, I think it'll be. Yeah.
Big boy tree man. Boom. Loves it.
Yeah, I guess because if you don't delete the fences next, if you come and just get some hits up on here, you might force him to then do the handoff and score earlier. But if you delete the person closest, then you might stand a better chance overall of stopping the drive.
Yeah.
But then you might be just making it that actually the score is turn 7 or turn 8.
Yeah, it's worse if they score in an 8.
Yeah.
Because you're hoping for the halfling to pull it out of the bag again.
Yeah, and like I said, with Dave.
To be honest with you, I thought even for a 2 or 3 turn, maybe just getting the ball to the halfling, spending 3 turns to get in with the halfling, and then the throw. But
yeah, the Russell has a way to win as a for a teammate, isn't it? But David needs to get the ball now.
Core is wanting to sleep because it is well past his bedtime.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, there you had a little siesta before we started. So good cult clash. Northern versus Southern Europe.
Oh, a player has moved back to
Yeah.
mark the score and threat.
Yeah.
Means the blitz may be on.
And that's with the orange band, but it's a tackler as well. So
Core normally has his tea finished by 6. He deletes 3 chumps and then goes to bed by 9. And by chumps, that's anyone with a NAF rating of under 250.
yeah, 'cause haven't you been trying to get your rats above 200?
I have been trying to get my rep.
How's that been going?
Oh, that's cold.
It was going fine until I played in a tournament last weekend, and then I lost 9 NAF points.
Yeah, that tournament was a drain on NAF points.
We had a good time with the team.
We did. It was lovely.
I just need to keep on lying to myself and saying that.
No, if we got those wins, then Queeve's devilishly legal
As
team
long
would
as
have.
you, as a team, played a legal team, then you
I inadvertently played a 13-man roster, which was my actual roster, and then because of all of the Eurobowl talk, in game 2 I played a 12-man roster, and I can say that the 13-player roster is better than the 12-player roster.
Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, so some nice screening up here from Dave. It's covering back. Just again making Core have to decide about punching a hole. I mean, there is one to be punched.
So the blitz is going straight into the middle.
Not going for the scoring threat.
No.
The scoring threat is next to tackle.
Okay. So
Pushes,
it's not.
and it was Core that moved the player, so
Yeah.
it must be sidestep.
Yeah.
And the scoring threat is lineman, so it's not movement 8 and it's
Not no
never
steal.
steal.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So there would be at least 1 rush if the lineman was going to try to score.
Okay.
What was the result of that point? Sorry, I didn't see the dice.
It was 2 pushes on the what I'm assuming was a sidestep blitzer. Dave was shocked by the fact that his player has block.
Pulled a little line back and understand that shot.
That's through. I can't
No
read
idea.
that.
No idea. Stunned, of course, but taken into that figure, so stunned.
Well, also had no idea, but put the stun, hoping to
Yeah,
block down.
it was actually a death, but he said, no, I think I'll keep it, thanks. Go for it. What's that?
Rushes are coming out just to try to tag as many L's as possible.
Yeah.
There's 2 involved. Here's the first one.
Come on.
It's good. And again.
Yeah, that's fair enough, I think.
Just
Yeah, I think he's just saying to call it, you keep going side to side, so he needs to force the issue, take a little bit of that control away.
So is this cause 6?
correct, it is closer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not coccyx, very different.
Lineman is now kind of wasn't scoring through it, he's now boxing quite. Just a push the ball.
Yeah.
So it looks like the dungeon ball is finished.
Yeah.
The Barbano.
Again, so that's back-to-back champion,
Rick
yeah.
retained the championship. It was a little bit lucky. CJ managed to blitz the ball loose from the Wood Elves, and a war dancer god. And that was unsurprisingly GG.
Oh my word. Oh. Thanks, Alex. Thanks for reffing. And providing the Dungeon Bowl tiles. Okay.
Is that a 1-die block?
Two. It sounds like
Two,
two.
okay,
It sounds like
two.
two, yeah.
Oh, because the guard, yes. There we go. I'm not used to these garden elves.
No.
To be fair, it's just a kind of elf.
So elf, yeah.
Oh, and then two there. So let's put someone
That's
on the
one
bum.
quite a good result.
Let's see. Oh, okay, another double one. Four loves those dots today. Is that a foreshadowing of a big dodge to come? Who knows?
No, I think it's just off screen, but we do have another elf lineman 8 squares away on,
Okay.
on the top end of the picture as we'd see it.
Oh, nice, nice. For just one easy donation of £50 to the Waterbowl PayPal fund, we'll let you choose the result. Of course, next dice. Oh, the picture's moving.
Select like a pro.
Ooh. Exciting things are happening.
The setup is being moved around by Phil, who is pretending to be an IT professional.
I am an
Yeah.
IT professional.
Phil's just been promoted to chief commentator.
Yes,
But-
chief commentator on this stream.
and senior super special software man.
Super duper special software man.
There
yes.
we go. Which is already just a software man, multiple levels above Barney and I's level of software knowledge. For Barney, software to Barney is his hemorrhoid cushion.
Dave's taking his time to think about exactly how to stop the elves from just walking through. Seems like the columns are what he is going for, with,
Yeah.
with tackle on the back.
Yeah. Well, what type of column? Doric?
Just to add to the drama, the players from the Dungeon Bowl are now watching the game. So you,
Yeah. Well, that means that if Dave tags in, he can borrow one of Rick's war dancers. Rick, you made it all the way to the Dungeon Bowl final and won the Dungeon Bowl without realizing fully how Leap works on his war dancers until the semi-final of the Chumps, which is a good effort. It's getting boxed a bit, isn't it? What's that? Oh, is there a question at the bottom there?
there is.
Oh, yes.
The question is, would
No.
that be interfering with the game?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we are
just a bit.
we are not allowed to do that. But the big drama for anyone who's just joined us is that one player has an inducement that they seem to have forgotten about, which would be very handy in
Very
this
handy,
particular situation.
It would be absolutely amazing if it's totally remembered and just use that in a moment. Just,
I do also respect the power play of, if you do win, winning without using it.
that's true. That's true. I'm hoping for, obviously we're unbiased here, but I would like Dave to win and not have that be revealed if he loses. As something that might have been really help. It might not do anything, but
I think that's the difference in our personalities. I was hoping to get him on camera and then tell him.
However, Dan, if you want to phone Element Games and get them to put an announcement out, that's not on us. with the owner of the car, WIZARD. I think at the minute Dave's not tuning into anything outside of that board.
No. A big part of high-level play is being able to deal with the pressure, and I know what it's like to square off against core. You can just get focused on what's happening.
Yeah, just his eyes. Just get lost in those Danish eyes.
Just get lost in those dreamy eyes.
Yeah.
The treeman is still active
Yeah.
and moving.
I can't believe he's not trying to move into range. Yeah. So just that's a little crowd starting to just appear around the board. Just 3 or 4 players just checking in to see what's happening. I think I can hear.
Okay, it's Core's turn. This means this will be Core's turn 7.
What happens on a draw on a return?
Best of 5 dice off. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
is that
Oh, so
wrestle? There we go.
must be, yeah.
That's wrestling.
yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I was like, what?
It is too early to eat
Yeah.
a both down.
And also, like, what's happened to put 3 players down when his
Yeah.
hand went down here?
So
Let's come back to the middle.
the elves are coming back to the middle, just trying to get as many in scoring range as possible. A snake on this dodge would be huge. Oh no, it's a blitz even. So,
A snake on these block dice would
Yeah.
be immense.
but a block tackle piece has been pushed back.
So Dave's just told us he's going to be listening to the commentary back in the office tomorrow. So take time to say that Dave is a lovely man, a credit to his family.
And next time, write your inducements down on a piece of paper and stick it on the board.
Yeah, I'd say write them down on Core's forehead.
Ooh, here we go.
Dave hasn't used his upper yet.
He will not need to.
No. Oh, in overtime, you're allowed to use it to take a stun to a prone.
Oh, okay.
Every turn. Commiserations, Doug. Rick is the jumpiest jump.
Have we answered Daniel about the inducements?
Yes.
We have, and we've said that it would be unethical for us to interfere with how it's going to play out.
However, any other members of our audience has an El Paras on speed dial.
Lovely hair again.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
You can see it's a little bit darker this time because
Yeah.
the stress has been getting to him, so there's extra sweat and to create a bit more moisture in there.
Oh, something has happened.
A dodge has happened, and a
A
reroll has
reroll.
been spent.
Okay.
That means he's down to
Okay.
2.
Oh no, nice sportsman.
Sportsman behaviour from Dave, pointing out that this player has sure feet. The reroll is not spent.
Which does mean now that because Dave's been lovely, Core's not allowed to score. Yeah. Next time Core leans over, you'll see it's a little bit of a fluffing there in his hair, and that's just because before overtime he just put a little bit of green stuff into his hair, just for a bit more hold.
Okay, the ball is now in scoring range.
And dice has been rolled, so it must be a rush.
Ooh, to
Okay.
1.
So this time, is it still Shroffy? No, Shroffy's gone, right?
Not anyone falling over.
Oh.
Elves are trying to dodge out to finish off the cage.
Yeah. They've kindly coaching Cole through this difficult moment. Big game nurse, the big guy.
Another rush.
Okay. So it's looking very, very secure, isn't it?
Unless it's still while the cage has been built. So.
So that was a reroll, was it?
That was a
reroll.
That was a real,
Yeah.
real life reroll.
That cage has a perfect target on it. Nope. Nope.
It's over.
Yep.
Yep. So it's Dave's turn 7 now.
Okay, so we already have wrestled through well nearly 3 halves of Blood Bowl. But
Does the elf thrower have sure hands?
well, I don't think so. Does it sure hands on the elf thrower? No.
And
Feels unlikely.
is that the ball carrier? Because you might as well just try to cage dive.
Yeah,
Because
I was thinking.
oh, it is on a catcher. Okay.
Okay. So just nerves to steal and dodge, right?
Not choice.
Oh, sorry. Oh, it's okay.
The, your options are to tag, to either make columns, which the elves will be able to get past,
Yeah.
blitz a corner and try and tag you the ball,
Yeah.
or go into the cage on a 6, but you don't have a reroll, so
No. And it's good coverage as well, isn't it? But I mean, you'll probably at least make a dice roll.
yeah.
7 squares away. If you've not established.
Okay. And so 7 squares away, the catcher's movement 8, right?
So yeah, it's a 1 square of lateral movements.
You can hear any sort of gentle thuds. That's because chairs are starting to go up on tables here at Element Games as people finish their games.
The numerous skill rings from all the numerous dead
Yeah.
elves away.
As Cole puts the season to bed, he thinks he's starting to put his figures to bed.
An interesting question after the game will be if Core remembers what inducements have been bought.
Yeah, I wonder. Just going to lean over now and ask Cole if he knows any words that rhyme with blue.
Oh, it was awful when that blizzard.
A bit too late, isn't it? If there was any chance that David remembered, it would have been used on that
Yeah,
at the start of this term, wouldn't it? Just to open the cage up.
That was the perfect turn.
I'm gonna trust you.
Alright, it's all filmed.
It's on
Yeah.
the internet anyway.
No, what's that? Oh yeah, tree man cage dive would be amazing. There was I think at the World Cup in 2011 on the Waterbowl team, Jimmy had taken jump up on a tree and his opponent was mocking him for it, and he found time in the game to secondary push back his prone tree into the cage, who then jumped up and absolutely smashed the ball carrier into next week. It was absolutely glorious.
Cage corners have been tagged. Looks like a blitz on one of them will be happening.
Yeah. It feels like it's going to come down to either a bonus turn or a TCM, right? Okay.
The cage corner's been blitzed.
Like not to have used to read it. It's got such a
Just Dave throwing in some bonus finger action there for the finger fans.
And F-U, and F-U, and F-U all the way home.
Okay, so this is the boats. Let's get a pal here. There's 2 dice. Okay. So that's good. So he gets in for some more contact, right?
Yep.
Well, does he? He's not followed up yet.
Takedown territory.
Ah, okay. Okay, so good they avoided the double skull. He's been a good boy today. No, I suppose he's kept. He's always just keeping it alive,
Is there
isn't he?
still, yeah?
He's not followed up. He's just keeping a line.
But there is still an elf that is tagging part of that line. So
That's through.
Ooh,
That's
through.
That's good. Yeah,
it is
dead
another
Another injury.
dead elf, but is it too little, too late? If
Has Dave got anyone else to move? No, he has.
if he can fill in all, if he can fill in all of those squares and just make a complete line, then
Yeah, I mean that's.
it's not too bad.
Yeah. Don't want to accidentally overthrow anyone and leave a hole, do you?
It's,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that is the other thing with elves, isn't it? You've got more than
Yeah.
one option.
the way that the tree is pinned in the back of the cage does make it harder to dodge the guard out, and
Yeah.
well, it is certainly doable. The core's going to have to roll dice.
Yeah, I mean, if he walks straight in, I'm calling it.
One reroll left for core. David just clarifying.
Rerolls do not carry over for the dice off, which has previously been the case.
Well, you would spend it here.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, but it's like, you know, but,
Do you think you would?
I would. You know, this is some like high level play.
So
we just watch Dave just collapse over the board.
That's it.
So it comes
Here we
down,
come. This is the
it comes down to this, or whatever comes after this. Yeah. Well, what we do know is if core, if the core, we are going to overtime.
I think I would roll lots of sixes. I think is probably the move to make.
Well, either way, it's been a tense old game, hasn't it? It's not really been, you know, massively back and forth. But with Core losing players in the first drive, there's a bit of doubt there about him scoring. Pulled it out, and then on Dave's drive, he didn't lose lots of players, but he did get stuffed before the throw.
So I can see if you wanted to take a risk, there's a 1 die, and then a blitz, which Core does not like to take risks. So.
No.
But that's on the top of the screen with the corner of the cage that is tagging one of the Old World Alliance
Nice.
players.
It does look like going for the top seems to be the better option. I think with the bottom of the screen is a bit more covered up with some of the Old World Alliance players.
What turn is Jack? It's Core's turn 8 in this extra turn of this extra half of
This is
overtime.
the final turn.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is turn 8. Yeah.
he has made it difficult for Core.
So yeah, so if Core doesn't get over the line here, we're definitely going to overtime.
And to clarify, there is tackle on the ball. We've got-
Oh, there's tackle on the ball. Core's got one reroll.
One
left.
reroll left.
And Dave conclusively has forgotten that he had a wizard.
a dice has been placed into his cup. I believe it is a D6.
Okay, a D6 may have gone into a cup. Unless Core's going into a tailspin.
I don't think this is what's going to spin Core out.
Maybe. Some the unexpected things.
He is running the algorithms. Monster, actually.
A surprise move. Core pulls out a Pop-O-Matic.
No, Dave has though.
Yeah, Dave certainly would have one of those. Right, it's 2 novelty for core.
Just doing a dodge out with the ball carrier. I don't know if this is a blitz.
Oh,
Oh, he's failed it. The last
last rerolls
blitz
gone.
one. There's a 1 in 6 chance that this is just over. Okay, it's not over yet.
People may have forgotten that the reason that core had to take out English citizenship for Blood Bowl was that when he lost the finals to Phil, the Danes expelled him.
So, with the use of the reroll, Core is now contemplating respectively the 3+ with a dodge to an attempt to try and avoid one of the rushes.
Oh,
There
yeah.
are no more rerolls left.
Yeah.
He does still have the dodge skill because that was from tackling.
Okay. Something is happening.
Go for the 3+.
Let us know, Fat fans, what you would do.
True. And now 2+. Dodge skill is being used.
Well, the tension in the air. Oh, so
And now 1 2+. This is it for the title. There's a 1 turner. Yeah.
all right.
Oh,
Okay.
You got. Don't forget, you got one. You got one turner.
Ooh, that was tense. Which Core has managed to change the score to 2-1.
Yeah. Would it be okay now? Would it be okay now to shout at Dave to use his wizard?
What a nail biter.
Yeah, gotcha.
Dave's going to lose. Yeah. I'm thinking, Phil, should we nominate Alex to sell it? With democracy in action.
Core seems to be going for all of his players back, just to make the land-in as difficult as possible. Dave currently has no rerolls.
You don't need rerolls, Philip. You just need the leaf.
That is true. That is true.
And a sweet, sweet 6.
And
Holy moly.
I mean, putting a big hole in the line would be good.
Cancel each other, you know.
Yeah, we'll shout at Dave, but he could actually use the wizard. So,
Just
always go shout at Dave. We could actually use it here. So.
It's coaching from the sidelines.
just coaching from the booth. Is it?
Yeah,
True,
yeah,
true.
There's nothing in the book about that. But I'll tell him he can use it as a rewind. Go back 5 turns. Oh man, what's that?
And I don't know if Dave's realised, but technically with no rerolls now, it's actually
hang on.
better to pick up a hand off
Oh,
with
Jack.
dwarf than
So what's the question from Jack? You've held. Oh yeah, that's right, Dan.
Yep, that's right. Dan's got it, Jack. So he used the last reroll for the dodge off tackle, and then it was the last dodge was the one, wasn't it? Which he then could use the dodge skill on. And
Okay.
Dan rightly points out, if you go the long way around, that would have been
Here comes the
a
kick.
fail.
Okay, call the kick. What's it going to be? High kick, I think.
It doesn't need to be a high kick.
No, that's what I think it's going to be.
I
Quite like the extra turn just to put the win up call.
a reroll would be good,
Oh, but it'll be nice, yeah.
and it is the average result on the 2020 table.
But
a blitz.
Oh.
It's a blitz.
Well, maybe Core gets mastered out of range. No, he's not going to move, is he?
However, if he doesn't get the halfling down, he can just open the gap. Because obviously the three on the front can't do it, can they?
You hit the halfling. You have to hit the halfling.
To be fair, the halfling is hidden behind a tree.
Okay.
So I don't think it's physically possible to get to the halfling. Flippy just moving the camera, pretending he knows what he's doing.
So yeah. If that is the halfling, then the halfling is safe. Yes.
What Paul does know is now he knows where the tree and the halfling are. They're not on the flanks, so he could maybe move the elves from the flanks into the middle.
Okay. Players are being hurt.
Yeah. Nice.
The power apo comes on.
Yeah.
So I think what he's going to want to do is move the blitzer from that's the sidestep blitzer. So if you remove the player, there will be a gap for the player to sidestep into. So he wants to try and blitz him out, so he can't use sidestep.
So the ball scattered. So we're now into Dave's turn of dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it does.
However, Cord does not have to use sidestep.
No, that's true.
So it could if Dave blitzes when
I think you'll find if you read the league rules.
You have to use sidestep
And we have to choose where.
on the final turn of the playoff.
Very clearly stated.
Don't do that first. Don't do that first. Oh, man.
Right. One down.
Can anybody smell a 10-10? Can anybody smell a 10-10?
10, 16.
Yes.
Oh.
What's it?
If this throw teammate comes off, it'll be an amazing event. Yeah.
It's the greatest moment of all of our lives.
Shame I don't plan to have children. Otherwise, I would be able to tell my grandkids about it.
How not in first place they were.
So I think he's not going to be able to clear the last elf, so it will be a 3+ pass and 6+ to be active.
Is it the
That was
And it's game over. Core is the new Premier Champion.
Dave?
sit down for a second.
What inducements did you take?
Take down Terry and Wizard.
Yeah.
Used it. Wizard.
Oh, did you? Oh, we thought you forgot. We thought
Boom was that.
we didn't see that. Oh, we thought
News just in. The wizard had been used, and we had missed it. That
Want to win for Kara then?
yeah.
They work for extra minutes. Like I know I'm not gonna have a bit of time.
Randomly 4 players. That's good.
No, sadly not. But not dies. He's used it.
Right, I guess say goodbyes.
that explains a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, congratulations to Core. Commiserations to Dave. It was a very tense final. It went almost the entire distance. But yeah, thank you for joining us, and thanks to Matt and Geek Pride for streaming all for us. It's been it's been a fun night. And thanks to Phil and thanks to Barney.
And thanks to you for organising the Waterbowl and making all this happen.
Okay, and yeah, so we will bid